Hey, Don here. Okay, so this is going to be a little different. I'm going to do a video on my Linksys router. So you should be able to see the Linksys on the left side, and my this is a Wi-Fi analyzer app in on one of my phones, one of my Android Alcatel 845L phones. You can see right here in my little, just in my little housing neighborhood, just kind of a normal area with, you know, the yards are about, I guess, 3/4 acre, maybe, yeah, something like that, maybe somewhere between a half and 3/4 acre. But, you know, side by side, there's probably, oh, I don't know, never tried to measure it. Between houses, there's probably 40 feet, I don't know. I know you can drive, let's see, 7 is 14. It's not that much because you can drive my truck beside the house, but there's a tree in the way, and then there's the same amount of space pretty much on the next house. So that's, trucks are about 7 feet wide at the most, so my truck is anyway. So 14 feet, 15, 16, 17, 18, you know, 18 to 20 feet, I guess. So anyway, I'm just trying to show you how far apart the houses are. So this is my TP-Link router, and it's the only one I have Wi-Fi running on right now. And you can see that the Linksys is not even plugged in. I've got it set up with DD-WRT as a universal repeater for the TP-Link, a wireless repeater. I mean, they call them universal repeaters sometimes. My ZoneNet router I have out in the garage will do that by default. And the Linksys won't with its stock firmware, with the DD-WRT it will. And then here's what I'm competing with. And I had used this app a while back, a year ago probably, to find kind of the best space I could find. And when I set it, 7, it's on channel 7, I believe, and see the peak of my signal, the tallest one here, at least it is the tallest, was kind of in between all the humps, all the mountains of wireless transmission here. And you can see all these others on top of each other, and it seems that when you just leave your router on automatic, the default usually for most routers, automatic channel selection, they will just all kind of want to pick the same channel areas. So you can see that these are all, these here, I don't know why they're way down in there. Actually, no, there's another one that jumped up, Netgear 25. I'm seeing they'll do that. They'll come up and down, up and down. And sometimes some of these others, this is late, 3:17 a.m. Sometimes they will, during the day or in the evening when people are on the internet a lot, it seems like they broadcast harder, you know. Maybe when they start using them, they try harder to send the signal out. I think they kind of do automatically do. See, now there's more activity. They do automatically, some of them anyway, the newer ones, strengthen and weaken their signal to try to work nice with other routers, but also to make sure they are getting their signal through. So see, I'll look at all that. Now, okay, now my TP-Link works fine in here, but I'm at one end of the house. You go into the living room, which is in, you know, kind of, well, it's kind of the other end of the house, not counting the garage. It's in the middle if you count the garage. It gets weak in there, weaker in there. It's a fast router, like real, like, you know, that it could really do is like 350 megabits per second. It does 2.4 gigahertz, which is what I'm using right now, and 5 gigahertz. This app, this phone will not see 5 gigahertz, so it's not why it's not in there. I only actually have one device that will do 5 gigahertz, and oddly enough, it's my older Dell 6000 laptop, and it won't connect for some reason to the 2.4 gigahertz. I can't get it to, but it'll connect beautifully to the 5 gigahertz. But the 5 gigahertz is the weaker signal, so I don't try to use that anywhere but right here in, you know, this area. But I want to, and I'm having lots of trouble now. I'm having to reboot the router. At the most, it'll go 3 days without. And I don't know if it's the fighting with all the other routers, you know, too much just saturated bandwidth area, or if it's the, it's not that, well, I say that I don't know. Actually, I do know that it's not completely that. I know there's a problem here. The only thing we can do really to make it better is to move our channels around away from everybody else. Now see, everything quit right there now. I'm the monster in the middle. But the cache and the buffers get full on the routers, and the only thing you can do is reboot them. And really, I think they get cleared better if you don't use the software like the web interface, but unplug them and plug them back in. Or I think the power button's okay. I guess it would really depend on how your router's made, if it's actually cutting power or not. If your power button, some of these newer ones I've found out from from a friend who has some of the newer ones, they seem to only put them to sleep. So if it doesn't do a complete reboot, you don't see the lights go all the way off and then come back up, you know, like you know it's down completely. Then just unplug it and plug it back in, you know, or put it to sleep and then unplug it. Whatever way is best, but it's a pain, you know. It's easier to do it in the router. Well, depends on what's going on. I mean, it might be easier to reach back there and turn it on and off than it is to log into the router interface and do all that. But going on and on, what I'm going to do is I have the Linksys set up as a repeater. I want to see if I can see an improvement in my signal. I'm going to take it into the living room and plug it in, and it'll just boot right up and it'll start repeating this signal. And I want to watch, you know, we'll watch. I won't be able to see this. Well, actually, I'm going to carry that phone with me. I'll be able to see it so I can comment on it. But I'm going to leave this just like this. I'm going to carry the one camera. If I leave this in desktop mode, then I'll carry the one camera. And I think I will check my live feed first before I go off thinking I'm making a fun video and it's just not working. So now you'll be seeing on one side, you'll be seeing what I'm doing. You're seeing my desktop and my camera 2 is what I call it. Right now it's on the router, but I'm going to pick it up and carry it with me. And they're wireless, so right now they're wireless. I mean, they're plugged in to the power supplies so that batteries won't go down. But yeah, okay, so I'm seeing that just like I expect to. Yeah, my sound's working. Okay, now all I have to do, I'm going to close the web browser, and then I'll go back, and if I leave this like this, you'll see in the video, you'll see the Wi-Fi analyzers on the right, and my camera on the left, and then I'll just, you know, you can see what I'm doing. So let's go. It's going to be a little tricky to carry 2 cameras and a router with me, but so I think that's in case I want to hook it up. I've got 2 things in mind. I can use it just as a wireless repeater or plug it in. I have a wired cable run through the attic into where the TV is, and I could plug it in to the WAN port here. I could plug that cable in here and then go from one of these, like port 1, to the DVD. You have a what they call smart DVD player. It has Kodi media player on it. Is what it has. It's a Sony DVD player, and it came with Kodi already on it. And it used to be called XBMC. So let's get things. Okay, I've got to unplug the. Sometimes I remember when I would unplug my power, I would sometimes lose my camera. It would turn it off, but it looks okay in my preview. So, and I've got to readjust this camera so that it's not looking straight down. But I use a giant heavy-duty paper clip. It's the big metal kind, not a regular paper clip, like for clipping huge amounts of paper. And actually, I can show you one of them. Let's see. Oh, I can't tell them. Yes, I can. There we go. If I look at the camera, okay. See, that's how I hold them on the tripod and with rubber bands. So they're both done that way. It works pretty good. They're pretty flexible, and you know what? Turns out though, if you drop the camera like I've done, knocked it off the table outside working, it doesn't. It takes up the rubber bands take up the shock and don't damage the camera. It didn't that time. Okay, so I'm gonna get my router, get myself ready to go. Let's see. It's gonna be dark until I go in there and turn on the light, but I just did that on purpose because everybody's asleep, and I didn't want to really, you know, end up bothering anybody. So I'm gonna see. Sorry. See what's the best way to do this. I think I'll turn off the big light in here. Okay, here we go. Signal looks pretty much the same so far. Turn on some light here so I can see where I'm going. I started to have the lights on ahead of time, but I decided it was probably going to they would probably get turned off. Somebody would probably come in here and turn them off before I got a chance to get in here because I was setting things up. Okay, Now, this is the living room TV area, and trying to see what's the best way to do this. Yeah, there we go. So that's down here on the, probably back behind here is where I'll set that router when I'm actually using it. And the signal, oh yeah, but now you can see that now. I'm sure my signal has dropped down in the middle of the pack just by walking over by the TV. Okay, so that's my problem. I've known that it does that, but I couldn't do anything about it. Now this one is a lot stronger signal, but it started acting up 5 times worse than the TP-Link, so I had to quit using it until now that I have this new firmware on it. I've got my power supply in my pocket. Now that I have this new firmware on it, I figured out where to set things. Yeah, I want this to where I can see it when it boots up, if I can. These legs are real bad about scratching things, so I'm not going to set it on there. Let's see. It will fall. I'll set it on the ground so I can see it as I plug it in. Where this sets only matters to me, not to you guys. I keep forgetting those sort of things here. Let's see. Yeah, I can see it. And the signal's looking about the same in over here as it does over there by the front of the TV, so I guess that won't make some. I'm going to walk around anyway, so that's what this app is for. You can walk around and measure your wireless signal. So let's get this thing ready to plug in. So I already plugged me in an extra 3-way into my 6-way so that I'd be able to plug it in. Alright, let's see. Just plug it in and it should just start serving up some power, it's not on. Oh, there it goes. It's just taking a while. Now let's watch the lights. I'll watch the lights come up and I'll tell you. Can't really have the camera to where you could see it. Get up from there though. It's kind of, I'm not seeing the signal rise any. Okay. Seems to be up too. So it may not be automatically doing it like I thought it would. I wonder if I have to have this one on before. I rebooted the TP-Link before I started because I've been on the internet for several hours and watching videos and doing all kinds of stuff, doing a lot of searches, and it seemed to be lagging a little, so, and it did seem to help when I rebooted. So that part's okay, but I do wonder if, let's see, that zone net out there, I have to have it on. If I reboot the TP-Link, then it loses connection, and I have to, I should have had this already on, I guess, but then I couldn't have done the test I wanted to do. So, it could just take a little time, too. Anyway, I have to have the TP-Link on before the zone net out in the garage. When it's on, it's not on at all right now. But when it is on, then if I reboot, let's see, no, I reboot. If I do reboot the TP-Link, then I have to go out there and reboot the zone net. So this should be the right way to do it. I'm confusing myself. Yeah. You shouldn't have to have your repeater on first. You should have your main router on first. That hasn't done a thing. So, now I'm up in front of the hallway, but it doesn't get any stronger. That is just one weak router, I'll tell you. The doors are all open. Oh, it's back up again. Oh, hey, maybe the repeater started, nope, I was going to say maybe the repeater started working. I walked back over. Well, you can see me on the camera probably where I'm at. Went way back down again. So maybe it's a delayed reaction in what you're seeing. Get back in the front of the hall now. It's going back up slowly. Yep, back up. Okay, it's back up to normal. So that section of the house just blocks it. Okay, now let's move the router, this one, and see if that would make any difference. Over towards this end. I'll put it down here where I think I would want it. It won't stay down there to fall, but I'm sure they're not really going to want to look at the light. Well, it doesn't blink a lot. I just figured they may not want to look at it in here, though. See if I turn it around the other way. No, that wouldn't work. It's not making any difference on the signal either, doesn't look like. Oh, it will just sit there, but it'd fall off anytime you bump anything. I'm going to leave it down there just in case. Okay, now let's just stay on this side. It's not doing its job that I expected it to do. Now, one other thing I could do is, like I said, plug it into the wired connection and see if that makes it. And then I'd have to take it out of repeater mode, but I can do that easily enough. I've saved my files, my configuration files and backup files. I can, you know, do it. I have to go back in there and do it. But let's see. It's not doing it. And the problem here is with, you know, just plugging it in like that, I don't know 100% that it's doing the repeating like it should. So I think before I get into anything else, I'll take it back in there, plug it into my computer, my laptop, where I can check it, or whatever's the easiest way. Yeah, the laptop, I guess. Like the same way I set it up. This rubber bands make it hard for me to see. My signal's red, and my rubber bands are right in front of the. Rubber bands are right in front. I don't know if you can see that where I'm at. They're right in front of my screen, right where the red is. So, but yeah, it's not getting any better. Okay. I wanted to take it in the garage because I had also thought about just leaving it in the garage. But now that there's so much trouble with the Wi-Fi not working good in here in the living room, that's kind of like my third priority. So, yeah, I'm not able to. I mean, I could bring a laptop in here, but being in here, keeping on and on talking, or somebody might decide to come in any minute and get in the middle of my video. So, let's take it. Oh, let's take it in there and do a little investigation. Test failed. Test 1 failed. Okay. Go ahead and I gotta wrap this stuff up so that I can put it in my pocket where I can walk back in there. Okay, let's see. Now I don't know if there's going to be a lot of delay in my audio, but you know, between what the camera sees and my audio, there may be, because turn the lights out, because it barely works in here in the living room like this. When these cameras, they seem to work better when they're plugged into the power than when they're not. Okay, back to the special room here. Let's see. Let's just oop, I made it just in time before somebody came out. Okay, so I can't remember where I had been setting this. Oh, sorry. Just don't watch the camera side. Signal's back up, I see that. Okay. I'll try to aim it to where I was setting there. And try to get things plugged back in so that let's see, so that my one needs to be plugged. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm going to swap the way I had the things plugged in. Doesn't matter. They'll still work. Okay, so I don't know if I got this camera in the best place or not, but because I have to turn I just remembered I want to turn my laptop towards me, so that's not the best place. Ooh, that's not working. So, I'll just put it out here where you can see what the heck I'm bumping and grumping about. Okay, get this laptop out and get this stuff turned on here as quick as possible. Okay. Now, where do I want all this? I don't really have to show my beautiful face. Let's see. I can get back around here. I was thinking that if I made it go down a little more, you can see the router. You don't have to actually see the router, do you? Let's see. We'll just do it like this. That's good enough. Okay, now plug it in so that it won't be running down. This will actually keep it powered up pretty well. And now I can put this somewhere so that I can put it up here for now so that I'll be able to plug it in, and then if I need to move it around where I can get to it, I'll do that. Okay, let's see. Okay, I want it just to be in repeater mode right now, so get the laptop powered up. It's dual boot, so I gotta catch it and put it into, oh no I don't. This one's not dual boot. It's the other one that's dual boot. And actually I want the default anyway. Okay, so here we go. It's pain. It takes a lot extra time, but I didn't want to be tripping over cords and breaking things. Okay. Now, yeah, okay, so I can plug the router back in, and I'm pretty sure you can't see it. That's okay. Okay, now, I think I'm going to have to, where's the one that, okay, signal is just like it was a while ago. I can see that on my remote desktop, my team viewer. The thing is, I'm going to need to do remote desktop with the, I get too many wireless things going on, I'll definitely have problems. But I'm thinking I want to do remote desktop with the laptop too. That's what I'm getting at here. Okay. Gotta type in all the passwords on the laptop. Oh. It keeps asking me for the wireless password in the KDE desktop. And that's the only one I was able to get in remote desktop working in. It's not saving it. And since I never use it, I normally use Mate. Not used to all that. Okay. So. Now what you see, yeah, okay, well, you can definitely see me. Okay, so yeah, you can even see the router a little bit there, can't you? If I turned it, you could probably see the lights a little bit. But it's not. You're not. They're gonna be so far away. I need to be able to see them. Is the main thing. There we go. Okay, so the router is on, but it's not plugged into the laptop. Now, I want to do something about. I don't think I can do 2 TeamViewer sessions at once. It's all right. I wasn't using TeamViewer, so I'll get over here and do. First, I got to go over there on the laptop and get it. The remote desktop up and running. There we go. It's called KRDC is the app I've been using for that. I opened up the wrong thing. Or did I? No, that's the right thing. No, that's not it. Okay, it's KRFB, yeah. KRGC is the viewer, KRFB is the control app that you can turn on the remote desktop, turn it on and off with. Okay. Now let's see if I can connect to it. Okay, I need 2 desktop sessions now. I guess I'll have to switch back and forth. I think I remember what IP it was, yep. Must have not remembered the password. Oh, it didn't save my password. But it does give you gosh. It gives you an auto-generated password. Let's see if I can type it in. It's so hard to type them in because they're so wacky. And I don't know if it's going to work. Oh, it's waiting for me to say okay somewhere. I don't see it. It's not coming up. That's why I always just save a password in there. It didn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and... Uh-oh, somebody's coming in. Yeah?
Do you think you could take the trash to
Okay.
I just now realised.
Okay. I'll do it in a little bit. Okay, so let me... Yeah, you can't see that yet, right? Okay, let me make sure what you're seeing over here. I believe you're seeing my camera. Yeah, you can't see the laptop. Okay. And, yeah, I have my remote desktop screen if I ever get it to work in here. It's a real aggravating thing that it doesn't, every time I put it in there and it's supposed to expect it to save it, but then every time I close this app and open it back up, it's gone. And so I have to do it again. But there's 2 ways to do. There's the way where the person, you know, like I would say have to say okay on the laptop, and maybe I missed it. I don't know what, but it's a pain. I always have trouble with it. So I just leave that. I just go ahead. And then the other way is to unattended access. Basically, you know, you don't have to say okay on the laptop. So, well, that was the wrong thing, wasn't it? Now that'll probably stay in there. I accidentally typed that in there. That was that crazy password. It gets regenerated all the time. Now then, let's see if it'll... There we go. Now we're in like Flynn, as the Aussies like to say, or as Dave likes to say from EEV Blog, and he's an Aussie. All right. You ever seen that movie In Like Flynn? Actually, there's like a whole series of them from the 60s. I used to know that guy's name. When I was a kid, I used to think he was I used to like him as the actor that played him. what's his name? Anyway, I never saw those movies back then. Actually, they wouldn't have allowed me to see them back then when I was a kid. But he was like the super cool James Bond, and he wasn't. Let's see, the English hired him, you know, to save the world, but he was American. I think he really was American. I think he played American. Okay, what do we got going here? Oh, it's got a software update. Let's not do that right now. I want to do it right this minute. Why are you going dark on me? Guess because I didn't put the password in there. Yeah, I don't want to do my update right now. I'm busy doing other things. That would just be more stuff to do. Okay, so I did not see. Okay, now if we go over here, signal's still looking the same. Of course, I expect it to. It's not going to change. Well, it could get stronger. Okay, now what we want to do is let's make it at least. Whoops, that was full screen. I want to make it fit the whole remote desktop window at least for now. Okay, so camera and remote desktop. All right, now we're going to get this little Ethernet cable. This is another one I went and got off the zone net out in the garage. It's got a good locker, but it's so good that you can't get it apart. Not the twist tie, but the ends. They have a squeeze end, but actually it was pretty chilly. It had gotten down in the 40s at night and 46 or something. And oh, you can squeeze it now. Just all it took was to get down in the 40s, and you couldn't. Oh, I'm using the probably using the wired connection from my remote desktop. Bet you anything. I forgot to unplug it first. Let's see if it kills my connection. Unplug my wireless. Let's see if I'm still working here. Oh, it's still working. So it's using my wired. So see, my wire connection's been deactivated, but that's all right. Hey, I didn't know you could do that. But I'm going to plug this in here. Learn something new every time you turn these things on. Okay, now I'm going to plug this into the WAN port, wide area network. And toss it back there out of the way. And turn it around that way, I guess. So it can probably be seen in the camera a little bit. No, I can't. Well, then there's no point. I'll just turn it to make sure I can see it. And back to the remote desktop. Now, I got to pick up this keyboard and put it over here. I better write that down. About the I got to take out the trash. Take it to the curb, kind of thing, from the garage, actually. Okay, now. Oh, I'm doing remote desktop. I don't have to use the keyboard. That keyboard. It's harder for me to tap on that wireless keyboard than it is on mine. Yeah, okay. What do I want? I want the web browser. I don't know what that little thing is. That's a desktop search or something. I don't know what it was. I don't, like I said, I don't use KDE, so I don't know what half this stuff is. Firefox. I want to log into that router, and I do not remember its passwords or anything, I don't think. So I have to get that kind of stuff out. And, okay. There we go. Oh yeah, brand new. Okay. DD-WRT. Okay. Oh, yeah. Whenever you plug the wired connection into the into the laptop, it kills the internet. Since there's no WAN, since I'm using the, I plugged it into the wrong thing, the WAN port. That would still be killed, but I needed to import 1 or 2 or 3. 4 is maybe bad, so it definitely was not working right. Back when I was using it, that was why I thought, well, the thing is just, the hardware is going out on it, and it may be, but I mean, it runs fine with the old firmware and without it, but it was just really losing connection. And oh, now the internet came back, now that I swapped it like that. Well, yeah, well, that's good. All right, so let's see. We're going to be, yeah, 192.168.1.1. Actually, I think I might have saved it. I just realized I may have saved the password to that router in there. It's all different finding things out. Let's see if I can get the IP, see what the IP address is. Okay, yeah, it's only seeing, yeah, it's seeing the, oh, it's not seeing the wired, oh, there it is, wired connection. Okay, but the Wi-Fi is the one that has the, it's got the internet, and it is working now that I, in the wired connection, I hit disconnect. That's not what I meant to do. Wired connection. It just says MAC address. Okay, so I don't think it's got its IP address from it. Yeah, it doesn't. So I guess I'll reboot the Linksys. I messed up doing that. Simplest thing to do is to reboot, unplug and plug it back in. Get that IP address sent back. I need it to be able to connect to it. See, it's just sitting there not connecting. Yeah, when you're running 2 network connections at once, you can confuse yourself real fast. But once that router gets rebooted again, I should be able to connect. It may just go ahead and finish connecting, or I may have to reload the connection page here. And I have to keep on checking to make sure I know what I'm showing. It's a little trickier when I'm showing desktop and a camera because connection timed out. Let's see. Let's look and see if it has an IP address on there yet before I keep trying. No. I wonder if that cable's not working right. Maybe I need to disconnect and reconnect again. Let's try that. Usually in Linux, domain or Fedora, that's all you need to do to get your new IP address. Setting network address. Let's see if it works. And it looks like it's booted up all the way. But it's, oh, I'm going to have to do, okay, this is what happens on the zone net. Since it's in repeater mode, you can't connect to it. And you can't do it wirelessly or wired. I'll go ahead and unplug the wired connection just to see, just to make sure, but you can on the zone net. Just remember, you have to reset it. And I don't think I'll have to do that 30-30 reset. I think all I'll have to do is, okay, wired connection deactivated. Wi-Fi. I don't think the only way I could get there this way is if I forwarded a port on my TP-Link over to this. It still wouldn't work without wired, I don't think. But see, I can hit enter and it's not going to go anywhere, I don't think. Try it and see. But see, you're going backwards. You're trying to go from the WAN, which is considered the internet, back into your router, and this firewall won't let it. You know, I don't think As a repeater, I didn't turn off the firewall. I could have, but I didn't want to because I want it to still be connected. You don't want to have a repeater that's wide open. I had that problem once. I had this automatic connection to devices on the ZoneNet, the devices that connect automatically. I had it turned on, and it let my neighbor's phone connect automatically. He had it just set to automatically connect to anything that was available wherever he was at. So he'd always have Wi-Fi where he was at. And it connected, and I was like, what the heck? I don't recognize that device. I didn't have any Android devices at the time, so I was like, what the heck's going on here? So let me plug this back in. It took me a long time to figure it out. I thought somebody had hacked in or something. Finally, I realized that it was probably just that setting I left open, and that I didn't completely understand how, how automatic it was. And so yeah, wired like that. I'm going to reboot it one more time, but I don't believe it's going to work without resetting it. And so I'll have to hold in my reset button here on the back. And let's look at this. This time I won't put my meter up there so that I can use my screwdriver. I got a Phillips screwdriver that fits in there pretty good. I figured that out when I was having to do that 30 reset 30 seconds 3 times. That'll make you. Okay, so I'm going to hit reload one more time. I don't think I'll need that. I mean, I could do that, but I think a normal reset will do. Just bring it back to, okay, it's back on. It wasn't back on yet. That'll bring it back to, actually, that might not take it out of that. Let's see, because on the ZoneNet, I just use the normal reset button, and it brings it back to the default settings. And then I hit reload again. I hit it down there. Usually that one don't work as good. Sometimes you actually can close the browser and open it up and get it working. But let's see what the. Okay, that's the wireless wire connection. It says setting network address. Okay. Give it a little bit of time and see if it's going to work, but I don't think it's going to. But the Wi-Fi, it's still got its good address. And of course, I wouldn't even be doing remote desktop if it didn't. That would tell me right away. It's just saying setting network address. It's been doing that. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, this light's been up for a little while now. It sees it. Port 1 is activated. It's green. And yeah, wireless LAN's it's actually off. Oh, that's because it's in repeater mode, I think. Power light's not. Oh, yeah, I guess it is. Oh, what the heck? Depends on how you look at it as to what you see. Oh, if I turn it like that, all that stuff's on. If I turn it like that, it's not. So I think what the intent is, huh. I would expect to see power, wireless LAN, and 1. You know what? I think my lights, I did have this thing apart. I wonder if I got the board back in there in such a way that the lights aren't lined up with the little dots, you know, the see-through dots. I turn it like that, the lights are on like I would expect it. The Cisco light is on. That's actually the wireless LAN quick connect button. And then power is on, and it should be on when it's powered up. DMZ is off, it should be. Wireless LAN should be on. It's on and working. Well, it's on as a wireless repeater. Yeah, it still says setting network address. So I don't know why, and I don't know how I'm really going to tell what's going on with my wireless repeater. Maybe it showed to be working. Maybe I didn't actually have it set up right. Maybe I didn't have one of the settings set right in there. So let's go ahead and double check, triple check again. Okay, yeah, you see me in the camera, and you should be able to see the desktop, see the remote of the laptop. Okay, I'm going to hold that in if I can. Okay, now I can see the lights from normal, I think. I may have to do the 30, 30, 30. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. I'll just do that because I know that works. Okay, I can just put it right here and do it. Okay. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we'll unplug it. Okay, that should be around 30 seconds. Again, you notice it says wired unconnected because the thing's off. Plug it back in. Okay, now the interface here is not telling me anything, but I'm going to hold it long enough. Okay. Connective, wired, connected, activated. Now, okay, I'll let off the reset button. And I had already counted to 30, but it took a little longer. Of course, I'm not doing accurate counting in my head like that. But wired connection, yeah, now it's got an IP address. See it right there, 192.168.1.112, and that's the one it had last time. Okay, now. So I'll just turn it around. Okay, this is just what I thought. Once you get it into repeater mode, then I should be able to log into the interface, and it'll be wanting me to give it a password again, which is what I'll just do. As if it was brand new again. Be easier than, well, you have to. It makes you do that. Okay, yeah, router username. Can't seem to tell if I'm typing right. Let's try that again. Oh. Let's see. Let's try this all again. Just go to desktop. I think that's all I really need right now. Yeah. Start over because I'm confused. Okay. Yeah, there. Because I just realized I have my camera aimed at my keyboard, and anybody with a keen eye would get my wireless password, and I'd like to be able to leave it in there. So I don't want to try to make up a fake one. I never remember it. That's what most people do when they're doing these videos. They just like do 1, 2, 3, 4 or something. But I really want to get this. I'm not. My brain's not good enough to remember what I had put in there and how to straighten it back out. See, I guess I didn't. I hit enter, I thought, but let's make sure it's going to log in. Okay, could have typed it wrong, you know. And I have been saving it in the laptop, but actually, there's 2 different passwords: your wireless password and your logon password. And I think this thing is getting confused. It keeps asking me on both spaces, and I think it doesn't know that it's a different password because it asked me, do I want to update it? So anyway, okay. DD-WRT. Now what I'll do is just leave it like that. I'll kind of go through it a little bit here. Let's go ahead and make it full screen. Now, I'm going to try plugging it into the wired connection, and it's going to have a real nice strong signal in there. It won't be repeating. And I'm also going to go looking up this is the basic first run firmware, you know, the one they recommended using, and the instructions that they say. You can update it to something different for different functionality, and of course you always want to update it to the newest one, and I think there may be a newer one right there on that page because there's a drop down list, and this is number 3 so-and-so, and there is one called 4 so-and-so, but some of these outfits fool you because actually the bigger numbers are the older ones sometimes, or at least I'll go into that later, but I could be looking at the numbers wrong, so what I'm thinking. But anyway, shows you all what's going on with it. It's on channel 6 now. That's the default channel for this firmware, or this router. Well, it's this firmware, but I think that's what it was with its old firmware. So it's not on 7 anymore. So let's go over here and look. Get out of this. Let's go right over here. Okay. You should be able to see, there it is, DD-WRT. See, it's stronger, quite a bit stronger than my TP-Link. So that's why I was hoping to use it as a repeater, or at least that was my first thought, is what my ideal situation is, to just be able to carry it in there, plug it in, and use it as a repeater to make this TP-Link stronger all throughout the house, and hopefully even out into the garage and the driveway by putting it in the living room. And then whatever device you've got, you can carry it wherever, and it doesn't need to change, routers, and you need to, like, you use the same wireless profile as they call it in Windows. You don't need to change, log in and log out, and figure out which one you want to use and all that stuff. You just use the same one. That's what I was trying to do, but that didn't. I don't know if I did something wrong or what. Didn't work. So, but what I could do, I think I'll do that right now just for the sake of experimenting, and since everybody's asleep and I got a chance to do that without people, wanting to be in there wanting to watch TV and me bothering them. I'll take it in there. Let's see, what will I do? I'll take it in there. We'll just watch this while I'm thinking about it. Take it in there, and as you can see, though, this is not the very least congested area, but the stronger signals in the area are generally on the right and left to where I'm at right now, and the most congested area. It looks like maybe if I picked 4 would be good for the and the other thing is the TP-Link. If I remember, seems like I remember I put it down there on 3 or 4, and it didn't work well. It was just like. You could tell it wasn't surfing good, it was slow. So, or maybe the signal got lower, maybe it wasn't as strong. Can't remember now. But now the DD-WRT went down. It's not as strong. So I guess it, went back up. It looks to me like putting it on 3 or 4 would be the best place for it, and I may do that because right now it's fighting with since it's not repeating. See, I don't want it to be. This was the problem I had before, is it walks all over the TP-Link when they're together like that. So, before I do anything else, let's put it on down there on 4 and see what happens. Okay. Oh, it's got a new... it should already just got through saving it. It should be all right. I guess it just logged me out. Yeah, that's what it was. So I'm going to put it on channel 4. Actually, let's try 3 first and see. Bridged, unbridged. Bridged was the default. Let's see. Where does it say? Didn't say anything about bridged that I can see in there. Okay, so I'm going to say save. I guess that won't make any difference then until it doesn't make any difference until I reboot the router, but let's don't do that just yet. I want to kind of look through some stuff. I'll hit, I did hit save, right? Hit save, and I'll reboot it. You can do apply settings, that'll reboot it. And the security, it's disabled by default. No, let's go ahead and turn it on. Right now, you don't want it disabled. Okay. And shared key. Let's see. think that will be it. This is one of those things where if I can't see what I'm typing, I don't know if I have it right. Let's hit save. Yeah, it's, see now, I don't know. Well, I'm going to hit no username. There wouldn't be a username. There'd be the, yeah, better hit update at least. I think it is 2 separate passwords. Trying to think of what I can do to, unless I'm not showing desktop. See, if I show my camera, you're seeing my keyboard, and if you see the desktop, then, so I'll just kind of hope that I type that right. I'll find out if I try to get onto it and it doesn't work. I may not try to log on to it per se. I'm probably just going to look at its strength. Okay, Mac filters, advanced WDS. Okay, now setup. There's something else in one of these areas about, you know, I might have needed to, when I did that wireless, I need to copy those backups to have them on the laptop, but I don't have them on my little SD card. Let me copy those. Crusader. Let's see, what am I on? I'm on complete desktop. Okay, so downloads, Linksys firmware info. Okay, yeah. There it is. That's the other one. DD-WRT. Let's go ahead and move it. Okay, now I'm going to copy most of that, put it on there. But I'm going to note that it is, one of them was wireless repeater. The date is probably 30. Whoops. Yeah, Wi-Fi repeater. TP link. Yep. Okay, and then this one was wired, standard wired. Okay. I guess I'll say normal, because it's not just wired, it's wireless. Okay, normal settings. Okay, now. Okay, I want to get on the, I wanted to make sure that was all named right before I started copying things. Now, if that's in documents or is that in downloads? I think it's in downloads. Yeah, I have different names on it. Don's Linksys router. Oh, I see. Yeah, this is with some of the standard stuff. Yeah, let's do this. Copy it inside of that folder. No, I'll probably have trouble finding it. Have their own folders. Wait. I want to make sure it's. I never did get that model number into that file name, and I want it in there. Copy. Now then, let's see. I'm going to take those dashes out because it makes it more confusing. There. Now, copy. Oh no, sorry I'm doing all this maintenance work here, but if I don't do it when I think of it, see, I've already forgot before, and so I need to do it. Now, that should get me set, ready to be able to do what I want to. I don't know how you, let's see, I should be able to get on the desktop and right click. If it shows up like a normal, it doesn't show up. Let me see it. Add panels. It doesn't show me my desktop sharing. What's that? There it is. So, yeah, click to safely remove. Especially, it seems like it's more important in Linux even than in Windows to unmount. That's what you're doing, mounting and unmounting when you plug it in and unmount it before you just unplug it, because sometimes it will cause. Well, you plug something else in and it won't mount. It's hung up, thinking that should still be there. That's the big problem. Okay, now that's ready to work. Oh, well, after I reboot it. Anything else I need to do? Yeah, virtual LANs was one thing that this one video I saw. They set up a. No, that's not what they. There's something virtual. A virtual. Something they set up is virtual. Probably in the wireless. Yeah, when they were doing a wireless repeater. Right here. Virtual interface. They did add a virtual interface, and I didn't, because I thought, well, I don't have to do that on the ZoneNet. Maybe I should have. I think they. Let's look at it while I'm thinking about it. When you set up a virtual interface, what does it do? There it is. Okay. Kind of jumped around. Oh, okay. It's a virtual wireless network. Okay. Okay. DD-WRT VAP. Virtual something appliance. I wonder what that stands for. You can name it whatever you want it, but that's what it gave it. Okay, let's see. Cancel those. Uh-oh. I wonder if I meant, no, that part was already saved, so it didn't mess up my, if it did, it would go away, go back to whatever it was. Okay, what was the two things I changed? That and something else. Okay, let's go hit apply settings. Try not to make this video last all night long. Now while it's rebooting, if it's rebooting over there, I'm going to check my live stream. And make sure it's all good. Okay. Oh, I'm on. How long have I been? Oh, okay. It's like, what? Let's see. There we go. Okay. Oh, I'm on. How long have I been? Oh, okay. Okay, that's where I'm at now. It was really far back in my stream. I was like, what? I thought maybe I'd really lost things. Okay. And when I saw me winding up that wire, I was like, what in the world? That must have been where I left off last time when I peeked in on it. Okay, so I'm on just desktop. Let's get cam 2 and desktop, so that when I pick up the camera and go, it'll do that. Okay, so now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it in there. Just look and see if things are like I kind of expect. Let's see. Oh yeah, security was the other thing I set. Well, not that part, but the I didn't bother with the firewalls. I left it on default. And so I'm going to carry it in there, plug it up to the wire in there. I'll take it off of the DVD player, plug it into the WAN port, and then I'll plug the little blue wire that I have right here into the DVD player. And I'll be able to use my little Wi-Fi watcher there to see what things, what the signal looks like. I mean, it'll be good. And then, I don't know, I guess I'm trying to think. I can try connecting up to it with a phone, but well, I could use the one with the Wi-Fi watcher on it. Yeah, I could do that. Okay, let's do that. I've been wanting to see what that would be like anyway. And I think I will close this remote desktop connection. Let's see. Yeah, just close that. Leave it like that. Now, we can watch. Okay, see, our signal is over here. That's pretty good. It's hardly walking on the TP-Link now at all. So, yeah, I mean, I couldn't decide whether I wanted it on 3 or 4, but I believe that's best, because that would be, on 4, it would be more overlapping with the TP-Link, but it's so much stronger. They're both sitting right here, you know, the TP-Link's just on the right side of my big monitor here, and the Linksys is on the left side, you know, and the phone that I'm monitoring with is over there close to it, but I don't believe that'll change when I just move it around. See, I'll put it over here closer to the TP-Link even. Doesn't change. Does take a little bit to change, I think, but yeah, it's not changed. Oh well, it did change on the screen. Yeah, it just hasn't updated yet on the there. Yeah, it hadn't changed. I think we're getting behind on, they're equal. Okay, it's finally changed. As a matter of fact, now they're kind of going back and down. Well, when I had it up there, it finally refreshed. So when I put it over there closer to the TP-Link, it does get equal and then stronger. It just takes a while to respond. Yeah, now it's a little stronger. Okay, but so that they're not. Let me put it kind of right here, just about the middle. See what it does before we take off. I'll hold it up higher so that it's not being blocked by monitors and computers. That's pretty much the middle. Now the TP-Link's only a couple of years old, could be 3 years old. Now they're almost equal, but it's a little weaker than the Linksys. The Linksys is probably 10 years old. And it's got I don't know how many, you know, you used to kind of think, well, the more antennas, the better. Well, more antennas is better, but there's 3 that are longer on the TP-Link than the 2 that are on the Linksys. So, you know, the design of well, the circuit board and the components and the antennas, all of it works together, you know. We know that. So, let me try to get myself together. Okay. Now, yeah, when I move it back over a little closer, it makes a difference. And I can just leave the, yeah, okay, because I'll leave it just like that so that we'll be able to see our, plug this from the laptop. I will leave it so that you can see a split screen between the camera and the, drink. Wi-Fi analyzer on the remote desktop. So that actually worked out okay. I don't think you can do 2 remote desktops in the, at least not in the free version of TeamViewer, or if you do there, I haven't figured it out. I haven't tried before, but with the other just standard Linux remote desktop apps that I have on my machines, and I was able to do that. So, power. You're plugged in over here. This time I'm going to live dangerous. I'm going to leave the cables dangling, but I'm going to stick them. Yeah, I'm going to get them hung already. I'm going to stick them in my pocket. Stick this one in my front pocket, power supply in the back pocket. Okay, so now we only see the TP-Link because I unplugged the Linksys, which is what we want, because we're going to go in the other room. Now we're going to unplug the power to this camera and hope it doesn't quit broadcasting. It seems okay. Okay, now turn off the big light and then take off down the hall. Okay, we'll kind of aim it the way we had it a while ago. That light can get so bright, it's just way too bright. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, just like that. Okay, now I'll put this. Guess I'll put it down here where I had it last time until I need it again. All right. This ready. I think I'll put it right here this time until I'm ready to actually got lots of other wires around here. Okay, so we're gonna get the red one that's running through the attic into my room. Take it out of the DD, and we'll plug this in. Okay. Now, I'll plug it into the WAN port on the router. Now that'll give me internet, and then it'll be sent over to the sent over. I'm not sure exactly how we would want to do that. Let's just do that in case that's kind of what we would end up wanting to do. Okay, now plug you up. All right, let's get over here and watch. It's booting up. It hasn't come up yet. And the TV link is really weak. And that's what the DVD player, okay, look how strong that is now. It's like very top of the thing. It's as high as it measures. Okay, so a little bit above as high as it measures. So, you know, that'd be really nice for giving a good signal in here. And that's the other thing is I really need to run an internet speed test. So there's a browser on the TV now. So, should be able to, well, I might be able to use this little wireless speaker. Put this somewhere where I can see it. Yeah, if I turn it right, I think I'll be able to see it. Sorry, I'm trying to situate my Wi-Fi graph here where I can see it. Oh man, as soon as I get it where I can see it, there we go. I guess that'll have to do. That's not going to change, I don't believe. But yeah, I have a little wireless speaker that I could turn on instead of turning on the big speakers in here. Just turn around backwards and upside down. Let's see. Remember how to turn it on? The big speakers over there, I won't turn them on. Oh, I think you turn it on the side. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if it's gonna, you might have to go over there and punch the button on the back of the thing. See, TV. Okay. And DVD, what's this? Oh, that's the sound, big sound bar, okay. I need the DVD remote. There we go. I don't actually need the sound right away. Might not need it at all. Yeah, Sony. There's a bunch of remotes in here. Why is there? I think I have an old DVD player remote in here that shouldn't even be in here because that device is not in here anymore. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I think I should take that back in yonder. Matter of fact, its user manual is right there. No, that's the phones. old remote for the TV. Let's see. Yeah, I got sidetracked, didn't I? Okay. Yeah, I found a remote that's probably been in here since the other DVD player, the old one. Okay. There we go. Confusing myself now. Okay, what's it on? All right. Gonna have to put it on. I'll also turn on the DVD player first, and then. Did it come on? Yep, it came on. So once it gets on, I should be able to. Yeah, I think that speaker is blinking like it needs to be hooked up. So I'll have to go back there and press the syncing button on the back of the. Okay, now the TV input. I don't use this stuff, so I set it all up, but I don't use it much, so I forget how it all is. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, where's the? Oh, okay. No, that was not what I wanted to do. I wonder if you have to use the old remote just to get it on, to change the aux on the TV. We had to get a new remote because the remote stopped working right. It's not doing anything when I do that. It's got different aux, you know, settings. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Okay, so I guess you do have to use that other remote to get up and get it. Can't see the. You might as well put it where you can kind of see the TV, I guess. Yeah, I better watch out what kind of sound I let it play, or I'll get copyright marks on my video, huh? Just thought of that. Okay. That movie's old enough, it should be open source, but I'm sure it's not. Open content or whatever. What's this? Oh, that's the sound bar. Okay, I want the input mode, yes. Yeah, I think it'd be that one. There's no signal. Pretty sure that'd be the right one though. Probably went to sleep. Nope, that's it. It is the number 2. I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. Because the other one's capable of taking DVI audio, and I used to have a computer plugged in there. So I chose that way. Okay. Yeah. Speaker. How do you do it? Yeah. I think that speaker's beeping at me because it wants to be synchronized. I don't remember how to do it, to be honest. Maybe I won't fool with it then. At least now we don't have a bunch of noise. Okay. Not sure if it may be working now. Yeah, it's not blinking red now. It's just a little blue light every once in a while. So maybe it would work if I turn something on. Okay, now. Wi-Fi. Okay, it came down a little bit. It's on 40. No, it says negative on the numbers on the left. It was on negative 30. Now it's on negative 40. It's still stronger than the TP-Link is stronger now because I'm over here by the hallway. That's where my little meter is. Let's move it a little bit and see if it changes. Because I'm actually wanting to kind of get the effect. Now see, that brought it down a little bit. I want to kind of, yeah, that's all right. I can see it, and I get the effect of being blocked. It doesn't take much to block it right here. It's very weak in here. And I think, and that's the other thing. This, this is a DVD player with a Kodi media player built into it. XBMC, the new XBMC, what XBMC turned itself into. When you're streaming stuff, sometimes it's always caching. And I think it's probably I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi signal, because I have both wired and Wi-Fi plugged in. And actually, I don't use it enough to know, to have ever figured out really the only way I know to tell which one it's using, Wi-Fi or wired, is to unplug, turn one of them off, unplug the wired. Or so what I'm thinking is it may be best to do this, and then it's always going to be wired from here to end there. The only reason I am kind of leery about it is because when I was using that computer I mentioned, I did some speed tests, and they would get down to like 38 megabits on a 100 megabit channel, and then our internet's 60 megabits, so that I'm a little worried about, but we'll see. Whatever makes it work the best. That's the other reason why I wanted the wire. I thought the wireless repeater would be good because, well, this is only 50. The max this wireless, that's the other thing, the max this wireless can do is 54 megabits, this Linksys. But on wired, it can do 100, so this may be the ideal way to do it. Okay, screen settings. Let's see what we got going up there. It's probably washed out to the point that you can't see anything anyway. But I'm not going to worry about that. I would have to go in there on the computer to change the lighting on the camera. You can do it from the browser, but main thing is the Wi-Fi. That's what I'm in here to do. So Wi-Fi and networking stuff. There we go, networking. Internet settings, check network settings, network connection status. Okay, that's what we got. Diagnostics, screen mirroring, okay. Server settings, auto render access permission, render access control, register remote devices, remote start, okay. So first let's just look at connection status. Okay, wireless built in, okay. Yeah, it's on Don's TP-Link. Now I would have to change it to the somebody.
Are you talking?
Did you want to ask me something? What?
Have you taken the trash?
Not yet. I was in the middle of this.
Would you mind checking the mail when you go out?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, the TP-Link 2.4 gigahertz. You can't do the even if it would work with 2.5 gigahertz, you can't because it's too weak. 2.4 gigahertz barely makes it in here. And it's crazy because down the hall it's fine, but you go around the corner just 2 foot, and the signal drops off, maybe 3 foot. Well, there's a lot of wall in there, though, a whole nother bedroom, but 192.168.0.120. Seems like an odd IP address for it to have 120. But that's what it has. Oh, the speaker went to sleep. It's okay. I may not even be going to use it. Default gateway. Doesn't show a default gateway or anything. Okay, so I don't know if I want to change the wireless. Actually, I don't want to change the wireless to the other one. I don't think to the Linksys, because I'm not going to leave it in here because I'm not done. I'm not sure this is the firmware I'm going to have on it anyway. Now, where's the back button? Right there. Okay, now. But it didn't say anything about the wired system settings. Oh, it took me all the way back out. Easy network settings, yeah. Okay. Status. Diagnostic. Okay, let's see what the diagnostic does. IP4. Okay. It's going to do some diagnostics. Maybe it'll tell me something. It says to correct. That's it. Tell me a darn thing. Connection server settings. Oh, a media server. Okay. I wonder if I hit that button, if it'll go back. No. Okay. And we don't have, oh, iMedia Share. I set that up. That's an Android app. So that is still set up. Shown or hidden? Oh, okay. Yeah, iMedia Share. Okay. I don't know how you get out of there without hitting the return button. And that takes me all the way back to there, but that's all right. Okay. Screen mirroring. Okay, now. See, I don't see how you can. See, you really kind of want, the way this was so kind of weak, kind of wanted to, I was hoping that this thing was smart enough to pick the best connection and use it, but I'm not so sure that it does. There we go. Let's go to internet settings now. Wired setup, wireless. Okay, let's go to wired. Please select to set up the IP address. Auto. Okay. Yeah. Auto. That would be the way you'd want to do it. I may need to do this to get this to work. To establish a connection, make sure you save and connect. Okay, let's see what happens. It's been a long time, a couple of 3 years, and probably at least 2 years since I've messed with this part right here, this wired connection setting. Maybe a year. I don't know. I'm lying. I don't know what. I know it's been at least a year. Okay. Internet settings is now complete. The unit is successfully connected to the network. Physical connection. Okay. Internet address. Okay. Now we should be able to see the wired. I wonder if it was not even connected. Okay. 192.168.1.1 wired. Okay. Well, you know what? I may have disconnected the wireless by doing that. I might have to. It may not want to connect it to different routers. Now, how do you get to the return? That's what I want, is the return. Let's see. I really don't know how to do that. Uh-oh, I hit home. I knew that was going to mess me up. Okay. There's a software update thing that might have been done. Okay, and easy network settings will just do it without telling you a thing. I remember that much. Status, let's see what we got now. Okay, so we're on the wired connection. Now, let's try this. We will go home and we're going to try and do a speed test on the web browser. I can't remember for sure how to get there. Let's see if there's, I don't think there's there's not a quick way to get there in here set up. Could do a shortcut, but there's not one set in here. I actually can't remember. That's not how you get to it, I don't think. What did I just do? I clicked on something, didn't I? Internet content. I don't know what I just did. Wasn't paying attention. I hit the OK button, or the center. It doesn't say OK on it. Recipes. I don't want recipes. How do you get out of there? I didn't know you could do that. Home. There we go. Where the heck was I never saw anything like that. I think I was on that PlayStation thing. I don't know where I was. Maybe I'd been doing that, so it might have been one of those other things. Yeah, must have been. There's a bunch over there in that area. There it is. No, that's not it either. Oh, okay. I think it's either the www or the Opera TV internet browser. I'm going to try that. I'm not sure which one it is. It's one of those. I know it's the Opera web browser. Yeah, this is the regular browser. Okay. Oh, and if you want to search, you got to get up to the top there. There. Okay, now where's the numbers? How the heck do you do that? There. This is like a game console. I can't stand it. I've got a little mini keyboard, but this TV doesn't accept that kind of thing. It only takes data. I used it on that computer that I had in here, or they did. Where's the P? It's not even in the right order as a keyboard. I hate it. Absolutely hate this whole setup. One reason I know what this is like is there was a friend that was all into games. Used to make me play Need for Speed Most Wanted. I actually liked that. How do you delete one when you mess up? Gotta go all the way over there, I guess. Okay. I don't even think it's gonna work. I can't remember the good speed test set that I wanted to use either. These other ones always have to have Java and Flash and stuff. Now I'm afraid it won't even work. I was just going to type in speed test and let it search for that. Oh, actually I am doing a search, aren't I? Yeah. Okay, let's just do that and try it. Okay. Because if I do speedtest.net, then I'll do that. It'll probably show me some more if it's a test, a search anyway. That's the one I used to use all the time, but it's also the one that needs Flash. I used to have to have both. Actually, it used to take Flash and Java. Now it just takes HTML5, I think. Which I don't know if this browser has that either. It will play videos on PBS website. I know that. That was what those shortcuts were for, if you could see them. Okay, now what? Took me there, but it didn't. Okay, I guess you hit the enter button again and it does it. This is it. Okay, there we go. See if it works. Go. Okay. There's a mouse there, but how do you... There we go. Go. It's trying. Yep. Ow, my neck's tired. I think that the wired connection might not have even been. Well, I unplugged it, so yeah. So when I put it back in here normally, if that's what I end up doing, then I will have to. It doesn't say show any errors, so maybe it'll make a speed test. It's awfully slow, though it's working. This machine, of course, doesn't have a lot of resources, so it's probably a lot for it's in all those ads and everything. So I know it will just barely play, you know, the videos on the PBS website. and it keeps caching a lot. And it could be because the machine is just out, doesn't have enough resources, processor and RAM, or it could be a combination even, of the connection and all that. But the thing is like when, the tablet that they use in here is the main thing that keeps on disconnecting. And that's the thing I usually hear about the most. But I see when I'm in here getting something to eat or something, and they'll be watching and trying to stream something, it will cache a lot. I wouldn't be able to stand it up the way it was doing. So I'm trying to fix it, but along with the overall wireless problems. But that would definitely make good strong wireless in here, but that means you have to connect. Well, I mean, for them, they could just stay connected to this one. This Linksys, and I suppose I could pull that, I could pull that speaker forward a little bit and give that just enough room to set behind it, because there's no need in it being up on top of there, just adding to the clutter up there. And the antennas, I don't think it would hurt. Well, I mean, if it hurt the signal, it might be better to have it up on top. But that's hanging up, it's not working. Just show my IP. I'm pretty sure I know that's my IP address. I don't remember it, but it looks familiar. So down there. So my internet IP address. So it tried, but how do you get out of that? Could be just completely hung up. I think the whole machine might have locked up because it's not going. Oh, it went home. Okay. Well, it just took too long. I was too impatient. Okay, we'll try it again. But I think it'll still have that in there. If it doesn't, I may not try it again. If it still has that in there, then you gotta go all the way over there. I think that Oprah TV is actually a whole nother set of things you can watch, so I won't go there. I think it's the www. Okay. Nope, it did not keep it. It only keeps the ones you add to the speed dial. Well, that sucks. Oh, wait, let me get up here to the search. Nope, it did not. History. Let's try that. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. There's two of them, like it's been done before. Okay. Now, if it'll, instead of always went straight to it, I was hoping it would, it's not going to work, so there's no point in that. Hit return. I wanted to search again. There, that's the one I want. No, that's not it. The other one is return. Okay, oh, you hit it, and then how do you go to delete? I want to go. Okay. How do you just go back? Oh, you just keep going back. Okay. How do you make it go up there? Didn't go up there. I don't know how to just get. I want to go. I want the 8. Speed test. I want to be able to go to the very beginning and get rid of HTTP and all that. I don't know how to do that, so I'll get rid of everything, I guess. Dang, I hate that. Okay, I want speed test like 2 words. This is like watching paint dry while golf is playing in the background, and or a baseball game is on the radio. Yeah, I know lots of people like golf and baseball, but it's boring stuff to hear for me to listen to. Not as boring as you are. Who said that? I did. I know. I'm boring. But hey, at least I'm learning something. space. Yeah, it's not so boring when somebody does all this for you and you don't have to do it yourself, is it? You just go off and get a snack or whatever. Get your popcorn made while the geek guy fixes it and makes it work. Of course, usually it takes a day to a week to get it done. Okay, so then you're like, why can't you do it faster? This is why. You're watching it right here. Speed test. That's back to that page. It is not what I want. Why did it just go back to that page? Why did you do that to me? I don't understand. Okay, I'm going to hit go one more time. Maybe I was not patient enough. That darn ad made it quit working. Maybe my little mouse quit responding. All those ads are kicking its butt. We need an ad blocker in here. I wonder if there's an ad blocker for Kodi. It probably got my signal, but it's not doing anything yet. I mean, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ads. It's that, no, I don't want it in my bookmarks. That you can see. There's a whole nother section of page you can't see. I don't know why it was trying to put it in the bookmarks. That's what happens when you overwhelm a machine. It does all kinds of crazy things, because probably the mouse was, when I clicked, the mouse was actually had not to the machine. It hadn't got to what I saw, where it was at. The only way I can do a speed test then is to know that other address, and it's a long, hard address. I can't even remember the name of it. I don't think I have any. There's no way to email stuff to. Well, I guess if I could go to my Gmail, but I don't think it could do Gmail, and I can't type that in anyway. Okay, so this web browser is not. This would be good, like if you had your phone hooked up to where you could control the. We tried that, and it'll do the one where you stream straight from the phone to the TV, but the other app that controls the web browser and the TV, it doesn't work with this one, with this DVD player. So I say in the TV, it's actually our DVD player. With this TV, it's it's not a smart TV, which I actually don't want one of those anyway. I don't want everything we watch being tracked. It's bad enough they're doing it on the DVD player. At least we don't use it all that much. Okay, I'm gonna try to get out of here again. There we go. It went back to the search page. I'm going to hit the home button because I want to get completely out of that browser. Now, I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to see what's in that Opera thing. I don't think there's anything that you can actually surf with. I think it just has a whole other set of watching apps in there. Channels, if you will. But my phone's going to run down, my camera phone. Yeah, this is just a whole other set of apps, I think. You probably, I don't know if any of that's showing up on the camera anyway, so this may be way worse to watch than I even realized. And it's a little bit different layout than when you have Kodi installed on a computer, but it is similar. I mean, it's got a lot of the same apps. Except for this this thing here, the Opera, it's kind of an app of its own, but then it has little apps built into it. It's not in regular Kodi that I've seen. I haven't messed with it in a long time though. But actually more junk than you could ever watch. You don't see the first run new movies in here, but definitely. But it's hard. It's so slow, and it's just slow as syrup getting through it and doing everything. And then you can't type in it. I just do all my video watching on the computer, or I have the laptop that I can hook up to my TV and watch it on the TV in there. But I have an old CRT TV, and I got where I can actually, makes it smaller, wide, and so it's not that big. It's like a 32-inch or something TV, or so when it gets brought down to widescreen, then I can't see it anymore. I used to see it just fine, but now I can't hardly make out the faces or anything. So I'm just watching it on my monitor, sitting right there in front of it. But it's for watching movies and stuff that bothers my eyes too much being that close. I usually just watch YouTube videos anymore and how-tos and stuff. Well, there's more stuff in there than I ever dreamed. I'm going through it as fast as I possibly can. I still haven't got to the end of it. So, but this has got nothing to do with, getting on the web or anything. This is in the all. So anyway, I'm going to quit going through it. Lots of stuff in there. So yeah, no, you don't. I don't think... This is probably more, I think this may be more stuff than you would get if you got, we keep getting those ads from Charter. It was Charter for all these years we had it. Now they call it Spectrum, but that's who we have for our internet, and they want you to pay $20 a month for I'm going to say Rico, what the heck do you call that thing? That little TV tuner that you plug into the side of the TV. Well, I don't know how you do that one, but I don't even know if that would work on our TV. That's the thing I'm wondering about. We don't have a regular, all we can get through our USB on our TV is, pictures and videos off of an SD card or something. I don't know if one of those smart devices would even work. I know a keyboard won't work. And I don't think it would work there's a USB on the DVD player too, but I don't think it would work in there either. And it's already a smart DVD player, so I don't think you're going to get any more programming. So I don't see paying $20 a month for that. It sounds like a good deal on the surface, but I don't think so. Let's see. Okay. Screen mirroring, I've had that working before with one of my phones. I think I did. Why is it in there twice? Don't know. And a lot of that stuff is just ads on the left side of that screen. You have to pay a subscription. Yeah, you got to turn on the phone and do all that stuff. So some of it works. Like we do have Amazon. We can watch that stuff. Amazon, and that's okay. And it works out to be about $10 a month. And they do have some first run movies, not all of them, but some. And they got more stuff than you could ever watch, but most of it's not that great. And it's the same thing within here. There's just not going to be that much that everybody's going to like, or that not that much that I'm going to like. Just say that. Okay, so I can't do that speed test without knowing. I wonder if you plugged a keyboard into there, would it work? I'm going to run and get that wireless keyboard that's on the laptop. It's already turned on. Yeah, this DVD thing, that's not for anything that's in here. Okay, I'm going to plug the little dongle into the DVD player. Yeah, not supported, so I thought. Okay, I forgot you can hear me and everything. I've got a wireless mic on. Okay, I'm gonna see. Yeah, I should have done this a while ago. First, I'm gonna check my live stream, and then I will see what that darn speed test is that I'm wanting to use. I thought my video was getting long. So you can see you can see it. There's the TV in the living room. Oh, could kind of tell what I was doing in there. Okay, good. I didn't know whether you could or not. Now let me go to my yeah, it's lucky I was sitting where I was, or my wireless mic and camera, and where I had them, they probably wouldn't have worked to the because they are going back to the TP link. Speed test. It won't be under speed test. It'll be internet. This would be the one. This one right here. It's a. Oh, that's how you get to it. SourceForge.net folder speed test. Yeah, and that's how you do it, and I think it may work. Now, if I could send that, oh, it would be impossible for me to log into my Gmail. So, SourceForge, SourceForge.net speed test. Speed test folder, though, and then you'll be there. Okay. That's a really good one. Okay, so let's get back on our split screen. Yep. Okay, we'll just stay like that. I don't know that it's necessary to do that anymore right now, but that is what I was trying to do. Now, do I want to connect to the Wi-Fi? I do. I think that the Wi-Fi would be great for, you know, the tablet and stuff, but not for the TV. I think it would probably be worse than the wired connection. But which one is being used right now even? Let's see, I never did try to play anything. I'm on, whoops. I just hit enter, why didn't it? I was trying to go to YouTube. Let's go back to the home. Thought it was on, oh okay. I thought it wasn't on YouTube. Let's see. Assuming that it will, I was on the internet doing a search, but I thought about how will things play. I keep wanting to talk to the remote. I can talk to my phone, you know, and do stuff, but can't, okay. Now the thing's not on, so, oops. That's not what I wanted. I wanted what was there. What the heck happened? Let's see if the search for my own channel is still in there. No. I just wanted to make it play what was there. I guess that'll make it play. That's a says it, I don't know if it's on it or not. I was just trying to see which one it was at, where it was actually at. So okay, I was playing an ad, looks like, so seems to be working. Let's see if the speaker works. Well, it's an ad anyway. Speaker went off altogether, it looks like, so I'll just leave it like that. Okay, so home. Okay, so it plays an ad. Oh, let's try it. As hard as I tried with the other one, I might as well go ahead and try it. Let's see, source. is going to be pretty tricky. S O U R C E Forge. I should have wrote it down, I guess. F. I think it's ORGE. I think. Oops, we got an extra letter in there. F O R G E SourceForge.net dot. Pretty sure it's .net. Oh, got a bunch of dots in there now. I can't do this darn thing without, unless I'm looking at the buttons of it, looks like. .net. But you have to look at the TV to see what buttons you're doing up there. And then I try to do it like I can, mostly do my typing without looking, and I can do the remotes I'm used to pretty well in my room without looking. Net / you better have a / I'll kill you. You don't have a /. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to throw this machine through the front window of the house. No, I've never done anything like that in my life. Why didn't I think of that ahead of time? Because I didn't, that's why. I don't see any way to get more characters. Except for that one with all those. Okay. Calm down. It's there. / Good. .net speed test. I gotta type that whole thing out again. S P O E. I think it's worse with my glasses on. No, it's about the same either way. I was going to say, I think everything looks blurry up there on the screen, but then if I look down at I couldn't see the remote save my life. So it takes your eyes a while to adjust when I, change the condition there of the glasses anyway. Speed test. Now it should add the HTTP for me. ST. I'm gonna. Should I put I'll leave it like that and see if it works. Well, I don't know. It may need the leading / I'm gonna try putting it in there because sometimes sites don't work when you're doing something like that without putting it in there. Go back to ABC, because if it stays like that, that would be, somebody else would have to figure out how to get out of there. SourceForge.net speed test. Did it work? Okay, now you hit it again, right? Yeah. It doesn't use all these resources, and it doesn't have all, but I don't think it has any ads on it, actually. So it might work. Okay, where we are. Can we bookmark that? It went there. Yay. Let's soak that in. I accidentally almost bookmarked something. Let's just do our test first. What? not enough memory, this application has been terminated. So what is it more? It seemed a lot less resource hungry to me when I was using it on the computer. Well, that's not going to work. So we're not getting a speed test out of this thing. Okay. Let's try this. That is not where I wanted to go. Setup. I'm wondering if I can turn off the Wi-Fi without jacking it all up. I think I'll make myself have to type that password in there again. I think that it might try to connect to that Linksys if I were to reboot or anything. But I'm not. I don't want to leave that in here right now because I've got to take it back in there and mess with the firmware some more. I think it is actually just doing wired right now anyway. So I'm thinking with the thing running out of memory for that app that I might need to reboot the machine, but it's working fine in other areas. I can't get it to go down there and go to return or back. There's a return button. I guess, yeah, that takes you back to the very beginning of those settings, though. It doesn't just go back to one. Well, it plays, and I got it, I got a wired connection, and I guess right now I don't, diagnostics. Isn't there a separate section for the wireless? Let's look and see. Oh, okay. Wireless setup built in. Oh, it just tries to do it automatically. Well, at least maybe it'll show me. Okay, there we go. It's already connected to that. See how weak the signal is? It's got 4 out of 5 bars. There's the DD-WRT. It shows there's a DD-WRT locked one, but then there's the VAP virtual, the one that has no security. I can connect to it. Why does it have that? I guess it was a default thing. Like that's like a guest connection, I guess. And see, here's all the other connections that I see in yonder. And they're all very weak, and I hope that they are, because they won't be, I mean, one of them's got 2 bars. That's on another house, and it's stronger than my TP-Link. So I thought I really liked that TP-Link, but its wireless strength is terrible. Let's see if it'll connect to that DD-WRT. I don't want to leave it like that, though. That'd be the same strength as signal and everything as if I was to use the password. I didn't know it would do that. Okay, it's complete. The unit is successfully connected to the network. No, wireless connection. Okay. All right. The only advantage to that would be status. The only advantage to that would be that, anybody could, besides me, they wouldn't have to come asking me for the password and everything. DD-WRT VAP. It has a 192, well, it would have a 192 address, yeah. Wireless built in, okay. So you definitely wouldn't want to leave your DD-WRT in the default settings and not pay attention to that. You've got a wide open wireless connection there. Unless there's some sort of security, well, I don't think there is. I mean, any device with that same type of security protocol could connect to it, even if it is an encrypted signal or whatever. It doesn't matter. Anybody's phone or DVD player could hook up to your Wi-Fi. And if it was a phone, they might just, or a tablet, or maybe a laptop, they might be able to figure out how to get into the rest of your network. Yeah, it's showing, oh, that's the MAC address. IPv6, it's got all of it. Doesn't show a gateway. Huh. I don't know why it didn't show the default gateway. It should show you the router address. That's normally what you see when you look at, oh, it's a different default gateway. Oh, that's the default gateway for the, I guess for the proxy server. But the proxy is at the bottom, it's to the top of that section, so it's like, what? But there's a default gateway up there, and that is my TP-Link, my Linksys 1.1. So now we're on the wireless. Where's that? Oh, it always goes all the way back. Okay, so I guess you use either or. You can't use oh no, it was on the wired and the TP-Link at the same time a while ago. Yeah. So why can't I see them both though? Why can I only see one or the other? That must be the one it's using now. So let's go back to the home button. I didn't expect to play with the TV thing this long. Now let's just go right to YouTube. I just hit the down button and that's where it went. Oh, that's cool. That's what I wanted. Okay. And we'll try something else. I guess one of those first videos, actually playing an ad is fine, then I don't have to worry about, you know, somebody not wanting you to play their video or whatever on your video. Let's see if you can see any difference. I don't think you will. And so there's a ad, another ad. They seem to be playing just fine. I don't know what any of this is, but I guess it's a singer doing an advertisement. I'm probably supposed to know who that is, right? Sorry, I don't. Okay, funny. Okay. Yeah, if I had a way to, if I had gotten in here recently, let's see. Oh, I know what I can do. I can play one of my own videos on YouTube. I'd like to see how well it works. Of course, my videos aren't going to be, well, they're just in the bottom end of HD. Okay. They're not 4K, that's for sure. Okay, I want to do how do I do a search? Oh, I see, just like that. Search for my own channel and then it'll get me there. All that preview stuff. Oops. There we go. Now, there it is. You know, I don't see. Oh, I see. That's my channel, and then the others are some of my videos. So I think I'll click on that. Because what I was thinking is I'll just check it on my live stream. That's it right there. I don't have any sound on, so I won't get any head freeze, brain freeze. There we go. That's what we're looking at. We'll probably end up with a video feedback loop. Ah, okay. So, oh, I thought I wasn't showing any of the hall, but I am. So you probably saw my poor mom coming down there asking me something a while ago. She was, I don't know if she was that close to that side of the wall. She might not have been in the picture. Probably at least saw her arm though. Okay, so, well, at least you can tell what's going on the screen there. That's good. Boy, the preview on the phone is so hard to tell what you're actually showing. But, seems to be working just fine, but since nothing's moving, it's a little hard to, I don't know, that'll probably take me way back. No, it did take me back to there. Okay, that's probably my last video about the router. I'll just play that for a second. Yeah, I guess it's best I don't have any sound going, because then it would be, I don't know how, I know that little white speaker, I'm talking about this speaker here. Oh, you can't see it right now, can you? Or can you? Oh yeah, you could. That little white Bluetooth speaker, it's pretty slow at responding when you turn it up and down, so it's probably pretty loud, because I got that from my mom so she could, sort of personal speaker where she can hear better and understand the words better. She can actually understand the words better on it than on the big soundbar down there. And that soundbar is pretty good. It kicks butt, really. It'll rock the house. But, okay, so there's one of my videos. Seem to be playing fine. Wasn't paying any attention if it was, what was going on with it. Just hit another one. It's another one about the routers. And that's what I'm doing right now, is a router video. So you can fast forward, I think. How do you do that? Like that. Doesn't work for me though. I guess it worked. I don't know. Ah, there. It made it kind of. Well, I guess it's just because I got it into the hit the right button on the remote and it started loading. I wonder if the wired on here, Wi-Fi on the Linksys going through the wired would be slow, or actually better. I would think going straight to the wired connection. And actually, I got to thinking that plugging that long cable, I was talking about it losing some speed over it's like a 50-foot cable, losing some speed over the distance. From my room to here through the attic and all that, and down, up and down the walls and all that. It takes the full length. I mean, I'll just have about a foot extra there to reach where it's at. Wouldn't reach any further. I wonder if plugging it into the router, I got to thinking about that, would actually amplify the signal a little bit. The actual electrical signal coming through the wire, plugging into the router. It might actually make it faster by, it's like a whatever. I don't know if the signal going down the Wi-Fi is 5 volts or 3 volts or what, but whatever it is, I don't know. Have a clue. I haven't paid enough attention to learn that. The signal going down the Cat5 cables, that sends the signal. I mean, it looks like it's working fine. I'm talking and not even looking at the screen. So. Yeah, I'm not sure if, I don't think there's really any need to do another one. Is there? There they all, there the recent ones are. I've never really, in a long time, I have looked at my own channel, but not in a while. Oh, and then my regular video play that. Oh, those are my videos, okay. Oh, okay. There's one where I'm moving around and stuff in it while I was working on something outside. Let's see. I don't think I can turn on that. I don't know how you... Speaker, as far as I know, is still on. I don't know what you do when it... There it goes. Turn it off and turn it back on, I guess. It's not synced to the receiver. Had to go over and hit that button again. Once you get it going, it works really well, but it's a pain in the butt to get it started, I guess. It should just automatically reconnect to that thing unless there's been something else hooked up to it. But it's sitting there blinking red. So anyway, that's good that I got it. Figured out how to turn it off since it was asleep. It wasn't completely off, I think. So, yeah, looks like a normal video, no caching or anything. Okay, now, I need to, I'll have to go all the way back to the home button to get to the settings. I need to set it back up normally, because I'm not going to leave it in here just yet like that. But I probably will end up doing this. So what I'll do is, I think I'll turn this off first. Get that out of there. Yeah, I think I'll get my three-way out of there. I might need that for something else until I get, I may have to sacrifice it for this when it comes down to it. That's for that. The one that I unplugged is the one that goes to that. I have to do a digital analog converter for the audio because the TV doesn't have an analog signal. It only has a digital. Dolby Digital, so I had to spend. Actually, I think I ended up finding that for about 16 bucks, and they're a couple of years old now, I think, so it works okay. God, you cannot squeeze that thing to save your life. I may have to go in there and get pliers. I didn't have any trouble earlier. It's got a protection boot. There we go. Got a protection boot that is very hard to squeeze, which is good. It keeps it from getting broke. This one is really nice and soft. Well, there's more than a foot. That's how far the cable will go. About 2 feet. So, that like that. Now, just do this. I'm gonna have to take a break soon, so you're in luck. My darn power cable unraveled itself. Now, I think I better get this all back to the way it was. Remote. Okay. Back up to the settings. Well, if you ever wanted to know how to do this. Settings in a Sony DVD player with Kodi media player as its operating system. This is it. That's not what I intended on doing, but it takes so long to go through all this stuff and figure it out. Especially if you want to see, if you want to see what's really happening here. Internet setting. Let's look at network status and see. It should. It still shows the old wireless IP address. But that's not right. It wouldn't be playing at all. Let's go home and see. Pretty sure it won't play anything. Yeah, because it's unplugged and laying over here on the floor. The wired could work. Let's find out if it's automatic. Oh, let's go back home. I thought I went back home. There. Oh, you gotta. Doesn't take you back there, it just takes you to the home screen. Gotta pay attention to where the little light blue square is. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Okay. Back set up. Network settings. Connection status already went in there and it thinks it's connected, but it's not. Yeah, because I want to go into internet settings. Let's do wired first. Auto. Error has occurred. Huh. Why would it do that? Well, let's reboot this whole thing. That might fix it, yeah. So, let's go home. I think I'm going to unplug it and plug it back in because it's bound to be awfully tired. Well, let's turn it off first. Then unplug it and plug it back in. No need to try, doing it with the operating system running, you might jack something up, but clear out all the cache and memory, RAM, everything. Unplugging it. At least that's your best chance that I know of doing that. Okay, now I gotta turn it back on. It may get, the Wi-Fi probably won't work, but let's just see. Yeah. Oh, disk is being read. When you connect to the internet, you can enjoy favorite services. Do you want to connect to the internet now? I'm going to say no right now because, well, say yes. No, I want to go in there the other way to make sure. Well, it should ask me the same thing. What do you want, wired or? Yeah, wired or wireless. Auto. Okay, continue. To establish connection, make sure it was connected. Okay, save and connect. It's kind of weird navigating it. I'm not quite sure. There's stuff down at the bottom. It looks like you should go down there and click on that, but I've just been hitting the right button. There's, how they are, left and right, up and down, and the one in the middle. This one just has like almost looks like a gun sight. What you see when you look through a gun sight. Okay, it's complete. It doesn't say okay like most of them. It's just not a regular plus. It looks like a gun sight. I don't think you could see that, but YouTube. Oh, it went straight to YouTube now. Oh, I guess that's where I was when it asked me if I wanted to connect. Now let's see if I can go back to my searches, and I always want to make sure. Yeah, let's do that. Just play one right quick for a second. There's an old video. Of course, that's low quality, so it should work, but it's not going to use a lot of bandwidth. There we go. Yeah. Oh, well, that one's actually a remix made by Google Photos, remix of a bunch of little clips. Okay, so home. Okay, now let's get up into the settings again. Network settings, internet settings. We'll look at the status first, and it should say wired 10.106. Oh, okay, yeah, it's plugged into another router. It's not on my TP-Link. It's one of the others that's daisy-chained. 10. Yeah, I think that's the old Netgear. So it's going to the TP-Link, to the TrendNet, to the Netgear. So it's third router from the top, from the modem. Yeah, that could end up actually times when it'll work and times when it won't work. So yeah, that could be a problem right there. But it's either going to work or it's not. It's not going to be, well, actually, if it had been quite a while since I rebooted it, it could work but be slow. So it's not a good one to have it plugged into. But I don't have lots of space. It's been, the reason I didn't worry about that so much is because, how do I go back? Because it was always being used on the wireless, I thought. Connect connection status. Okay, now I'm sure it's not on wireless. And hopefully it's still got the password in it to connect to my TP-Link, and it'll be alright. Yep, it's only 3 bars, but there it is, and that's the only thing. Look at there, that one there is 3 bars, that AT&T thing. Oh, that's just ridiculous. Yeah, TP-Link is just not powerful enough to do the job. Okay, well it's got something in there like it's been remembered, so let's try that. But it didn't show it. I think I'm going to have to take a break and eat. And then I'll figure out if I want to do any more. I don't know if I'll do any more videos tonight after this anyway. Internet settings is now complete. You're now successfully connected to the network. Wireless, okay. Internet access. Okay. Now let's go to the status. Now it says TP-Link. So I guess this is the one that it's using by the, and maybe it uses the other one if this one fails, and maybe that's why it's always caching but still keeps on working. If this one drops out, I think the signal may drop in and out, is what I'm thinking. But like I said, I do know that when it does start doing that, if you reboot the router, it starts working again, like on the tablets and stuff. So, let's look at that again. Yeah. 0.1, that's TP-Link. Of course, it says it up there at the top. Yeah, it's a 56% signal strength. And it has its 0.120 IP address. Okay, so see, that's just crappy. So, I don't know if I want to try to go back and figure out to make it a wireless repeater, or if I want to, do it the other way. Well, I had it here just now with it wired, running through that wired connection. The nice thing about it being on the wired connection is it'll be independent of the TP-Link's wireless, so if it never gets any better, that would probably be the best way. But I won't know until I put DD-WRT on the TP-Link. That's my next thing I want to do after I get for sure which exact version of I can't say it, WRT, that I want to have on the, I looked down at my Wi-Fi signals and I was like, whoa, for a minute I thought the Linksys went way down, but that was the other AT&T or whatever. It's unplugged. Okay, so it's down here on the floor, not having to look down there. So, yeah, once I get, it's taking weeks of testing to really figure all this out, but once I get the, yeah, let's do a video check again. Once I get the TP-Link with DD-WRT on it, then I'll know. Okay, now this is on the wireless. Now that's kind of slow. But I do know that that wired connection is really going to be pretty finicky. Let's go ahead and go back to that search page and just go to my channel. I do know it's going to be kind of finicky, and close your door. It's almost 6. Somebody will probably be getting up here in a minute. Almost 6 a.m. I'm about ready to quit anyway. Oh, they got an ad here on my video. Well, I've got it set up to do that. I just never see them. Okay. I always wondered what kind of ads there would be on there. A minute ago it didn't show any though. I don't know how it does it. Okay, that's one of my videos working on the garage door spring in the garage. Well, the colors are vivid. Okay, looks a lot better on the big TV than it does on my computer. Even looks fine on the computer, but I don't know, it just looks different being on the TV, big TV, 46-inch TV. Okay, so some computers in the background. I actually went through all those. Well, the one on the very bottom, I think, it's an 486 that I had under my bed, but the top ones, the stand-up ones, I went through them and saw what was what with them, and they all work in one way or the other. Well, not all of them. There's two or three more that don't, but those two do. Okay, so how do you get out? Okay, it's working. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Turn this off. Get back to the normal TV mode. I don't think that input selector even works on the other new remote that we got. Good thing that's still around to do that with. Yeah, that's that old movie. I like those. I love seeing all the old, look at all that old TV camera, cool car. Sometimes I like the plots. Some of them are kind of raunchy old movies, though. See, look at that one. It's about a guy about ready to jump off of the roof. But they're talking like nonchalantly about it. So, did I turn? Oh, I want to turn off the TV now. Okay, now it's back to normal TV mode. So it should be okay for someone. And very good. Now, I'm going to have to get my, I'll get my, see it all unraveled on me, had it all wrapped up. I know, I'm kind of picky. I can't do that. I can't walk in the other room with that dangling. I walked in here once with it. That was all I could stand. Okay. Well, the thing is, I've gotten hung up on things and broken things and knocked things over. And nowadays, I knock myself over. So, you know, it's a matter of safety. Safety first. Okay, let's go back to the room. I'm going to have to set this down, I guess. We're in the dark. Now, it'd be interesting to see where the batteries are on these things now. I bet they're going to be down. I forgot where I had this before. Can't see. I can't plug in. It's too dark. I'll have to get my lights turned on. Get this stuff out of my pocket before I forget and sit down on it. Oh, it tried to unravel my wire on me. Let's see. There's that trusty little. Oh, it needs to be over here so that can be plugged in. Okay, now I can quit talking under my breath. I didn't want to be waking people up. Try not to be loud. It probably wouldn't have, I mean, it's not as loud as the TV is usually when people are in there watching it, but I don't know where to put that. Okay, but something about somebody talking seems to get your attention more than a TV talking. So I don't know, I can't see. I was wondering where my there's the laptop there. I was wondering where my batteries would be, but I won't find out unless I turn all that stuff off and see. Let's see. Okay, so TV link is back to -40, which is normal for it, evidently, in here. And so of course, we saw what the signal was like for the, even when it was in repeater mode, you could just still see that it was the Linksys. We saw that. Or no, we didn't see it. So what, should I turn it on right quick? I don't know, there's something in my mind here that tells me to turn it on. I'll do it right quick. I'm actually itching to get a break here. But everything's still up and running, so I mean the remote desktop, well, I can log into the remote desktop on the laptop's still up and running. Everything is up and running that I need to give it a look. And so I guess before I end this video, I will give it one more look with it in normal mode is what I'm thinking, instead of in the wireless repeater mode. I did do that, didn't I? After, oh, that's when I saw it. Yeah, the wireless repeater didn't show up. And I suppose if I added a virtual deal to it, that might be what would fix it and make it the right, and make it actually repeat my, I don't know why that would matter. Well, I guess it gives you something to log, maybe you have to log into that to use the repeated signal. You didn't with the zone net. You just set it all up right, and then it's repeated. See, now what do I want? Okay, I want to connect over here. Yeah, desktop. Yeah. Okay, camera and desktop. Now I'll connect over here. And I plugged it in, and it's not quite through boot. No, it still has the screen up because I didn't refresh it or do anything. And it's not. It doesn't. Well, it isn't. That router actually, the DD-WRT will auto refresh if it was connected, and you'd see the newest thing. But it's fairly slow at booting up. I mean, it's booted up really, but it doesn't have the Cisco light on, which that tells you that it's completed and that there's wireless and everything. I'm gonna have to eat is what I'm gonna have to do, but as a matter of fact, I'm so hungry, I'm gonna eat a chocolate bar. Not a chocolate bar, chocolate nugget. One nugget. Those are not, that bag is not mixed, but I got some mixed ones in there from another bag. These are those dark chocolate ones here. And they're very, my pillow keeps falling. Very good with those cashews. That light's not on yet. I thought it would be on. Drop one down there, Mom. Oh, let's look at the Wi-Fi and see if it's... It says it's connected. .112, just like it should be. Wi-Fi is, of course, still connected, or I wouldn't have a remote desktop. Well, let's try going to a different page. Yeah, it's working. It's all connected. It didn't even ask me to log in. That's weird. Signal strength, that's what I was wondering. Okay, look how strong it is, back to over -30. Now I see why there's two sets of letters. There's DD-WRT and DD-WRT VAP. So when I connect to, Okay. VLANs, virtual LANs. Let's see. Is that what that is? Those check marks? Oh. Assigned to the bridge. Oh, okay. So it's bridged to the normal. Okay. So the virtual LAN is connected to the WAN port. I never knew this before, but I'm figuring it out as I go. VLAN, WAN port, 1, 2, 3, 4. LAN, or none. Okay. So that's got that turned on. Now let's look at the wireless. There it is. You know what? Maybe I did that earlier. You know, I clicked on that just to see what it would look like, and it gave it that name of its own. I could have accidentally set that up. I thought I did a reset after that, though. No, I did a reset before that because I couldn't get into it when it was in virtual mode. But that's why I can connect to that from the I don't see why there's anything about security in there. Why is it there and no security? It's bridged. So it's bridged, you know, together with the regular wired and everything. And the regular real hardwired connection, the hardwired as in wiring and as in the actual physical wireless connection. So you saw in there in the TV, what I saw, and I was telling about it, then I had the one with the, I can remove that, but saw the one that the one with the security on it right here. A normal one, but that virtual one didn't have any security. So you got, I think I accidentally set that one. I didn't mean to. So if I remove that, then it'll just be there like it was at the beginning. You know, I just clicked on add, and then I thought I said hit cancel changes. Well, wait, I did a. Well, then again, maybe this still does come that way. I don't know. I can't remember everything I did now. Well, here's what I was kind of thinking. Might want to try one more time. Not firmware upgrade, backup. Now, restore settings. I was thinking, I'll go to my downloads folder, go to my router, Wi-Fi repeater, restore. That's what's nice about saving your settings, but I want to add that virtual LAN and see if maybe it will show up the way or strengthen. Well, I tried going in yonder. I don't want to do that again, dragging everything back in there. But it might. Well, if it just, even if it was working, it should strengthen it in here, you know. Okay, it is rebooting. Please wait. Let's see if I can get out of that full screen. Oh, looks like I might have already lost my. I did. I was going to go over there to my connection. A section timed out for my inactivity or something. Let's try to connect back up to it, because that's what I wanted to do, was show. Connect. See if I can connect again. I've got my Wi-Fi monitoring screen up. It may not come up in front of it. phone went to sleep. Router may be, well, the laptop shows that it's still rebooting. Okay, let me get out of the Wi-Fi thing first. Go to the remote support thing. Get it set up. Get it back up. Okay, now I should be able to connect again. Yes, allow. That's what you got to do. Now, I can hit the home screen and minimize that without turning it off. And then go to the Wi-Fi checking app. There it is. Okay, it looks the same as usual. And I'm back into my admin here. Okay. Now let me put this back over here. Be careful, it'll fall off there. I wish I could put that where I could see it. Because if I do this, I can. Oh, I can see it on the computer. Just like I'm the same way I'm going to show it to you. Okay. Move this to the other. It moved itself over to where I'm at, and I don't even want it there. I want it. I don't want them in the same window. I can go back and forth to them quicker like this. Remote control. When you do remote control, it always minimizes it instead of bringing it up. I hit it real quick to bring it up. It's very confusing. Even to this day, after I've been using it for a long time. There we go. So see, now I'm at 50, minus 50. But smaller numbers are stronger signals. Well, you know that by the graph. I didn't remember that, or if I ever knew it with wireless signals. But yeah, see, there's no DD-WRT over here because it's now set up as a repeater. That blue one is that old neighbor's AT&T. All that stuff going on there. Okay, now, but I still don't see anything. Now, what am I in? Where did it put me? I'm just in setup. So I think I want to go to wireless. Let's go to VLANs first. See what that says. Okay, I'm in wireless. Let's look at it. Yeah, there's no virtual interfaces. And that's the one thing I remember that I did not do that. Okay, you have to be in regular setup to see VLANs, I guess. Yeah. VLANs. Okay, now it's still just like it was. It's still, that was the default, so I didn't bother with it. You know, until I learn it, I don't want to mess with things. Auto negotiate. Wireless LAN. What else can you do? Oh, LAN or none. Okay. Cancel changes. Make sure I don't jack something up. I did that last time. Well, I don't know if I changed anything. What is that? Link aggregation. Okay. On ports 3 and 4. I don't know what that means. Okay, now let's go back to wireless. Now I'm going to set one of those up again. But yeah, that signal is definitely not, doesn't look to me like it's being beefed up. Well, like it always is. Add a virtual LAN. That's fine with me. Okay. And then just leave it on the default. That's all I know how to do it. Now I want to see what it says in VLANs before I reboot it. And it shouldn't take effect till it reboots. I don't think it'll change anything in that VLANs thing. And I won't until I learn exactly what it is. You can have a lot of it. I'm sure it's very useful. I've read about virtual networking and stuff. I can't remember all the different possibilities, you know, when I read some of those articles. What all wonderful things you could do with it. But if you sit and think about it, you could probably think of some things. It gives you, definitely with wireless, I mean, well, you can have different subnets all off of one router, router. You know, it's one thing you could do if you want to have a bunch of subnets. Actually, I'd like to have all my, I don't really want a bunch of subnets, but it's hard, very hard for me to fathom how to get all my routers set on the same net, you know, the same 192.168.0 without them interfering. Every time I try it, they just they interfere with you. They just won't work. They don't interfere with each other. It's not in the right range. I'm not good with numbers. So I get like one number off or something, you know, or 2 or 3 or 5, I don't know, but I never get it working. So I never have done it. Apply settings. Okay, now I should be, there it goes. It went down for reboot. Let's see if anything. The best way I can see to show any action is in the if the Wi-Fi gets stronger. I mean, that's what I'm looking for. The Wi-Fi. Oh, look, there it is, on top of it. That's what I needed to do. Oh, how cool. So, now I can go back over here on the laptop, and it's not, the lights aren't all on yet, but it's there. And it would need to be on the same signal. What I'd probably want to do is rename that to like Don's TP-Link DD-WRT or something like that. You might even want to go ahead and put the 2.4 gigahertz in there so you'll know that it's not the 5 gigahertz. But I won't do that right now. But okay, that was some set. I had a funny feeling maybe I should go ahead and do that. Now all the lights are on. I don't know what happened earlier when I couldn't see the lights right. Oh, it just depends on what angle you put it at. You can see it fine from way down low, and you can see it fine from kind of up above, but if you're even with it, you can't see the lights good. That's weird. Okay, there it is. So now here's what I could do. Well, I can't change the wireless connection on here. I'll lose my remote desktop. I was figuring to say what I can do is, we can go in here and just look at it. You don't have to actually do it. There it is right there, DD-WRT VAP. So now I could say connect. And of course good strength and all that stuff. Okay, now I understand how to do that. Wired connection. Yeah, it's got 112 and that's just going to the router. Actually it should be, yeah, since, well, a while ago I was able to get on the internet even though I didn't have I should be able to, should just, because I'm not sure which way I'm going from, but I should be on the internet. Let's see what I want to go to. Fedora's homepage would be fine. I'm not sure if I'm going through wireless, through the TP-Link, or through the Linksys wired connection back to the TP-Link. How would I know that? But it's working, which I knew it was going to. I guess if I watched the data when I was wired connection, Wi-Fi. Okay, now data, okay. Oops, it went away. It looks like it's going through the Wi-Fi. Now let's go to the wired. Let's see. Which one am I on? Yeah, that's the Wi-Fi. Okay. There. Well, we got activity on both of them, so it's gonna be hard to tell. Let's click on something else. Doesn't look like there's much connection going on. Yeah, the only way I'd be able to know for sure is to turn off the Wi-Fi. But what I could do is connect to that other Wi-Fi. I guess I can connect. No, that'll kick me off my, what you're seeing. You won't see it anymore. I won't be able to control it. So I won't do that just for the sake of the video not being, you know, I mean, it wouldn't be of any use. If I wanted to show it, I'd have to do it some other way, you know. But yeah, I could just click connect right there. Now I could go into the software. Well, I don't know if you can do it on here, but I've done it in my Fedora systems. I don't know if that'd be an advantage or not, but you can bridge the wired and the Wi-Fi, and you can do it easy in Fedora. I don't really. It's probably not that hard in here. Add connection. Yeah, you can do all that stuff in here. This is the main 8 or 9. I think it's 8.8 or something. Anyway, you could do. Wow, oh, you can do a lot in there. I don't remember seeing anything about WiMAX. That's a proprietary Wi-Fi that they're installing these days. I can't remember who's doing it. AT&T's is called something else, I think. That may be what some of this stuff is. I'm seeing it's so strong. I just thought of that. They may have already done it. I just don't know it. They have to come out and put the transmitters, receivers out on your telephone poles and stuff. But I haven't been out there to look. But yeah, WiMAX. Okay, so they're definitely competing. If they're already there and they're not knocking me completely out, at least they're not doing that. But I've been talking about that in these videos, about worried about them knocking me out completely of my home. All of us of our home Wi-Fi. I think strong signals, super strong signals. But okay, that was the only thing wrong with my repeater, is I did not have that virtual LAN set up. But one thing I want to know, what about the security for it? Let's look in the wireless security section. Maybe there's it's got one now, you know, a place to set TKIP. There it is, right there. Okay. That's what I need to do. Personal. Save. Oh, and it's not going to make me put the... Well, yes it is. I got to put the password in again. Okay. Let's see. Where's my desk? That way you won't see my little fingers typing. I probably never remember all this. Don't want to unmask it because... better hit apply settings, because I don't know about unplugging it, if that would lose my settings. So now, there we go. So there's a mystery solved on the wide open wireless connection I had a while ago. I didn't go in here and set the security at all, and the fault is no security, which is what it would have to be, or else you'd think it was broken and hardly ever figured out what you'd done wrong. So I'm going to, while it's rebooting, I'm putting away some of my papers here, because I'm going to go get some food and stuff here in a little bit. Okay, still rebooting, but yeah, the signal hasn't gone away though. Could just be that the display is pretty slow. It could be getting slow at refreshing again too. But boy, of course it's a lot stronger. I mean, I've told you how much stronger the Linksys is than the. Of course, I can move this. Oh, this cable. Well, you can see how much trouble I have with this cable. I'll unplug that. Let's put it over here, closer, where it's up, aiming right at the TP-Link. See if it changes. Hasn't changed yet. Oh, it's changing right now, I think. Yeah, I think they're on top of each other now. Yeah, they are. It's hard to tell. Okay, the link now, the TP-Link's a little bit stronger, and the Linksys is a little bit less strong. So that's how sensitive Wi-Fi signals are. So, you know, the only way I'm going to get Wi-Fi throughout my house is to have repeaters, either have repeaters set up or separate, you know, Wi-Fi networks. I think I'm going to prefer, see, this way I'll have the same IP address range. I'll be on the same subnet. And I believe I think it will, I'm pretty sure it'll be on the same subnet. And I think that's what I'm going to be wanting. So I still want to make sure which version of the firmware that I want. But what am I on? Desktop. Let's go back to in desktop, right? Yeah. It's probably better to just show the desktop in this case. Yeah, let's just go back to straight desktop. That way you can really see what I'm showing. So, see, now it went back to, that's odd because now the DD-WRT is a little weaker than it was a while ago looking, but it does fluctuate a lot. But all these other ones at least are not, you know, they're way less strong here in my house, but they're still competing with it. Okay, so now I have my, yeah, it's back up. Actually, the Cisco light's not back on yet over there, but it is. I think it's done rebooting for the, well, let's just say for the most part. I think it's done rebooting enough that I can click on something and go somewhere else. Maybe not. Maybe it's not quite back up yet. Yeah, I guess it wasn't, because it's not going there yet. Let's go back and look at that Wi-Fi signal again. I never did see the signal down though. Let's go back over here. But I don't think it, the web, you know, the GUI interface is not back up yet for me to get to it yet. Guess I could have hit, well, until that Cisco light comes on, there's no real point, I don't think, in keeping on trying. See, it seems to be a lot slower at booting back up. Of course, I think it's a lot slower when I make changes than it is when it's just normally booting up. But it does seem slower than it used to be. Well, yeah, because it was the fastest router I had at booting up and getting ready to go. But it's well worth it just because it boots slower. You know, it's got so many more features. Even if it doesn't work any better than it used to, hopefully it will, because I think this firmware makes a huge effort to try to manage the cache and the, I always forget the words. Let me click on the status and see. Okay, I'm going to stop it and reload it and see if that'll make it. Yeah, resend the information. See if it just, that light hasn't come back on yet. Maybe it doesn't come on when it's in repeater mode, you know, because everything else is on. And the repeater, and you see the signal, it's there. So maybe that light is not on because it's not supposed to be. Oh, I can't get in here anymore. Boing. Okay, I will not be able to, without, only way I can get into the interface that I know of, unless I can do it wirelessly, is, oh, what's its IP address? Maybe I can do it wirelessly, or by using the wireless IP address. Actually, I'd like to know if I can do that or not. Okay, the laptop can see it. I don't want to connect to it. Oh, if I connected to it, I might be able to do it. Oh, I know how I can see its IP address. To go in here. Yeah, cause now the signal has, well, see, it went down and up. It's still stronger than the, now it's like halfway up to -30. Okay, so here's what I can do. I can look in my TP-Link router and see what the IP address is of DD-WRT. And then see if I can log in. It may not be considered remotely when it's a repeater. Now, I couldn't do it on my Linksys ZoneNet out in the garage, but we'll try it. First, I'm going to check on my, since I kept going much longer. I was up there almost 2 hours, I don't know how long ago. I must be 2.5+ hours now. I know it's silly to make that long of a video. It's 3:05, 3 hours and 5 minutes. It's silly to make this long of a video. It really is. But it can be done, which is pretty wild. I mean, as far as the wireless working, my cameras and all the Wi-Fi that I'm using. And my wireless, my phone 3 that I'm using for my mic, It's better. It does pretty good when you're just doing audio. But otherwise, the cameras would run these phones down in about 20 minutes probably. 10, I'm not sure, 10, 15, 20 minutes. I think it's about 20 minutes. That's why I'm very careful to plug them back in every chance I get. Okay, so let's see. What do I want to go? DHCP. But yeah, I can, I won't do it. Well, I can't do it now, but if I wanted to rename that, I could copy that part, you know. And what am I showing you? Desktop only, okay. So yeah, I can copy that and put it, you know, paste it. I should be able to do that through the remote desktop, or one way or the other. But anyway, DHCP clients, okay. Okay, now those, oh, okay, the two unknowns, they're unknowns. Why is there two of them? That's got to be it, though, but I figured it would say DD-WRT. All the rest of them I've made permanent. That's the other thing I did to try. Oh, okay. One of them was 120. I remember that. And I should be able to. Anyway, I did that to maybe help with the losing of connection. That maybe the something going wrong with the, you know, renewing of the IP address. So it just says no route. So let's try that one. Oh, I could try it from the laptop too. That was just so fast. I figured it's no route to host. I don't think that's going to work. It's taking too long. 118 and 120. So let's just go over here. What have I got going here? Okay, yeah, let's just leave it. Oh, I'm going to close it. Okay. Let's go to my remote desktop. Yeah, I can't get in there anymore. That address is actually no good anymore. And that's now realized. I think I would have to set up remote. I would have to set up remote access to get this to work. So what I'd have to do. So anytime once you've done your settings for your wireless repeater, if you don't get them right and something's not working right, or if you just want to make changes, you're going to have to do. I ended up. It didn't seem like it wanted to do just a normal reset. Just holding in the reset button. So I did a 30-30-30 reset, and then it was back to the beginning where it needs you to put in a password, and then I was able to. Then I was able to. I just remembered one other thing I was supposed to do. Check mail. Okay, then I was able to, I already forgot, did 30-30-30, and then I was able to log back in and set the settings the way I wanted. Let's see, what's the other IP address? I already forgot. 120. Let's just copy it, it's easier. Can't do Control-C for copy in this particular TP-Link router interface. You got to do highlight and then edit copy, and then it'll copy what you got. That's all the same. But let's see. I'm getting confused. I want to go here and try to go in there. Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't go there. I knew it wasn't going to. So yeah, you're not going to be able to get in there unless you were to, and I'm not going to open it up to remote management. So that's too dangerous. So but I would like to close the browser now because it's not gonna. I would like to connect to it like that. Can't, but if I connect to this one, it's gonna disconnect from the other one. Although I have, let's see, I wonder if the wired connection would get me through to this, through the bridge. It might. 107. Okay, it's 107 is the, that's it on my TP-Link router, DL1525, but that's the wireless. It's going to be something different. It's going to be 120 or 118. Oh, so what I need to try to do, make a new connection. I don't think I'm going to get anything back, but we'll try it. Connection was closed. Oh, okay. Now let's try 118. Huh. So maybe that was the router then. Connection was closed. I mean, it should be answering, and unless you can't do two connections at once. I can disconnect, try connecting to 118, make sure. As long as I don't jack anything up, I can still get back on the connection. If it didn't happen by now, it's probably not going to. Okay. Connect. I don't think it's going to work. No. Okay, so I don't have a good way. I mean, I could turn the camera around and point it at the screen or something. Hey, you know, I went so far into all this. Why don't I get the camera? It's not even being used right now. Pull it around here and point it at the laptop screen. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. And I'll split it between camera 1 and camera 2 and desktop. Okay, so yeah. Let me get this lined up. I have to be in the preview so I can see it. It's going to be way up too high though. Now I've got my cables stretched as far as they can stretch. And didn't think about that. I guess I picked the wrong camera to do that with. The other one could work though. Well, it's still plugged in and everything, so let's just aim it over this way or something. You can see down there. But what I'm going to do is get this one and put it up here like I do sometimes. Remember how I do it sometimes. I'm going to have to unplug it. Got to yank it off of the deal here. Like I do sometimes. I guess that'll do. That's not the way I normally. How do I usually do this? Something like that, I think. Oh yeah, like that. Yeah. I can still type. Oh, I gotta get, because I'm going to take it out of, actually I don't want that at all. I want too many things running. Oh, now it's, I think it's still running just in the background, so let me get in there. Where is it? Wi-Fi. Okay, let's get out of there. We don't have to have that running the whole time. Get the camera running. Okay. Now, let's get on camera 1 and desktop. Okay. There. Now, turn this on around more straight to the camera as much as I can. Okay, now what I will do, okay, that's still showing what's going on the camera or what? Why is that? I think it's showing, I don't know what it's showing. I had it doing remote desktop, didn't I? Oh, okay. But I'm seeing, oh, it tried to show my camera, but it can't, so I just need to close it. Oops. Okay, yeah, it can't do that. It just can't handle that, and that's going to use up all my bandwidth. So I'm going to close Team Viewer. I'll just close it all the way down so I won't be confused. Okay, now, remote desktop. Let's close the web browser now too. 120 and 118. Okay. Okay, now, you're seeing that. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to do that. Okay, so now you're seeing camera 1 and, yeah, camera 1 and desktop. And so while you can watch me make the actual transition. Okay, now I'm going to click on the virtual DD-WRT VAP, and I'm still going to have to log in. Well, since those credentials are already in there for the other one, it might work. We'll see. So if it asks me to put in the credentials or what. It's taking its time. Oh, that's going to freeze up. Let's see. I still have remote desktop right now. I think. Oh, there it is. But no, I don't anymore. So I will have to. It always does that anyway on this desktop. So I don't. Yeah, you know, that might not mean anything. It asked me for the password. Yeah, I don't think I have. Yeah, no more. Okay, my remote desktop just froze as to where it was at. Oh, see, now it finally closed. So I'll just close this app, get it out of the way here. And I don't have the Wi-Fi app running anymore on that phone. I'm using it. So let's just go to phone 1 all by itself. So you can kind of see what's going on there. Now I think I'll leave it like that, and I'll use the wireless mouse and everything. Okay, now we're on the this one here, and it says it's insecure. I shouldn't say that. Oh, it doesn't look like it's connected. Never used. Oh, it still says it's connected to the wired connection. Oh, so it must be using the wire connection and the repeater function. Well, I don't know if I'm on internet or not. Let's find out. I don't know if that's going to be Firefox or not. No, it's Conqueror. Afraid of that. That's the default web browser for KDE Conqueror, and it's kind of funky. Firefox. Yeah, I've got my big keyboard in front of me, and it's not actually the one I want. Because now that I can't use it anymore because I'm not connected. I don't know what happened. Let's see if we're going to get on the internet. That's the first thing I wanted to know. We have a wired connection going. Yeah, we're on the internet. Deactivated. Why did it deactivate it? Did I click? No, I clicked on details. 107. Wired. What's it? Oh, Wi-Fi connection. Wired connection. connected to Wi-Fi. Okay, it disconnected from the wired connection. All on its own, but it's doing the regular Wi-Fi to the TP-Link. It's not doing the one I tried to do. Now here's this one. My virtual repeated signal. Okay, now it deactivated the regular Wi-Fi. Now what? Did it do it? Yeah, it's connected now. So, it just doesn't have as many tabs. It doesn't have the extra tabs. Oh, it's not finished yet. I could have mistyped that password. It says connection activated. Might have been easier if I didn't have the security on it. Of course, you don't want it that way, but okay, now it just shows, it has a different signal down there, but it's Wi-Fi. Let's see what we got here. It didn't connect to it though. It says never used. But when it popped up, it just went ahead and connected me back to my regular TP-Link. I don't know if maybe that's even, I wonder if that's how it's actually supposed to work. Because that is what it's connecting me to. It's virtual, but it's connecting me to my, it's a repeater for my TP-Link, so no point in doing it again. I'll have to learn more then. But since I'm sitting right in here, you know, with the TP-Link, and it keeps saying it's connecting to the TP-Link, then what I don't know is why did the wired connection disconnect? Let's hit connect again. See what happens. It's trying. Now in this case, well, it could connect to the router whether it had internet or not. Wouldn't matter. Oh yeah, I can't connect to it by the wire anymore, can I? Once it's a repeater. Maybe not. I can't get into it to get to its internet, but you can normally get in there and get on the internet on the ZoneNet out in the garage. Okay, it seems to be. Oh, it's still setting the network address. It hasn't finished yet. So something happened when I clicked on that the virtual network. That's when that happened. It disconnected the wired, and all it did was just connect back to the to my regular TP-Link, or at least that's the way it looks to me in this admin interface. And I'm still on the internet, I think. Yep, still got weather and everything. Still can get weather. Go back. Oh, now it's not just Wi-Fi anymore. Now it's got that different looking thing. Still says setting the network address, so it hadn't finished yet. So you can't look at the the IPs and stuff. So it's still using the regular TP-Link Wi-Fi to get go on the internet and do its normal stuff. What happened? Why does it do that? Sometimes when I try to click on the details, it won't show them. There. Guess I'm missing it. It's strange how much harder it is to use a mouse you're not familiar with. This is that little bitty small wireless mouse, and I mess up all the time with it. If I use my my mouse that I love so much is a very old Microsoft IntelliMouse, one of the first infrared, the ones with the light instead of a trackball. But that's what I'm connected to, and it's still it hasn't connected to the wire. It's still stuck in setting network address. And I'm not going to do that again. It just keeps doing the same thing. So I don't know. I think I've experimented until I don't even know what's happening and what my goal is anymore. I'm just really quite starving now. That little snack helped me from. I was starting to feel bad. Made me feel a little better, but I'm still starving. So finally, a big screen. I love that hackaday.com. Finally, a big screen Vectrex. What in the world? That's some. I love old electronics. Probably going to want to be reading about that. I don't know what a Vectrex is. Oh, it looks like they took and got a newer, bigger CRT and hooked it up to. So yeah, it's bigger than that. That must be a game. Must be an old game. I don't know why they had to take it out of the TV. I mean, all you should have to do is get a right kind of adapter cable to make it work. It's probably a little more complicated than that. Okay, so that is pretty much. Oh, sorry. I picked that up without thinking about what I was doing. Yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this one turned off. I don't need the laptop anymore now. Let's see, what else have we got? Don't need desktop sharing anymore. Oh, I wanted to do shutdown. Yeah, the mouse is crazy. It just don't. It moves when you don't mean for it to move, and it'll move. Well, it moves too far, too fast. That's the big thing with it. Too far, too fast. Kind of like Too Fast, Too Furious, number 26. No, turn off, stupid. Just turn off. That's all I want. Dang. All right, now. Oh, I still got to unplug this. That's the one that I can barely. See what I mean? I mean, that is some tough stuff to squeeze. That's the weirdest plasticky, rubbery. It's not very rubbery. And the other ones I have, they're not at all hard to do like that. Okay, now this is what the lights, you never get to see them up close, but that's what it looks like all lit up, except for on the far left there, the whitish area. That is this. It looks kind of like, you know, wireless bars. It's a Cisco in there, Cisco light. That's why I call it that. It's not on in repeater mode, so something to try to remember. And let's see. Just put this on desktop or something so that when I move this around, it won't be going nuts. I don't have anything to show right now is the thing. Let me see what my resources are on my computer for a while there. Okay, and I know this camera probably needs to be plugged into the charger just to keep it from going down while I'm finishing up here. I do not know exactly how to aim it towards me. Okay, now. So, well, got it at me basically. Okay, so that's it. That's my over 3 hour broadcast. But it was really quite interesting. And I learned something. I learned how to make it do a wireless repeater. I don't exactly know. Well, now on the ZoneNet, you can connect to it. Like I said, it's just, once you get it working, it just automatically strengthens the signal for the TP-Link when you're out there in the garage. And I have seen it work. I've seen it take my phones out there, my laptops, and I've seen it actually make a difference. So I guess, you know, trying to connect to that virtual LAN may be something you're not even supposed to do. Just directly connect to it like that. I don't know. The only way I would know for sure is to go in there and I could have, you know, I didn't view the password because I didn't want to show it on my video. I could have typed it in there wrong, and so I'm typing it right over and over and it's not working. I can just, next time I might leave it, well, I can just do it without me making a video of it, and, or I can just leave it without a security and check it. I'll have to reset the whole thing again and start over. But I do have my settings. I won't back up those settings because they're not exactly right. So, well, actually, I could back them up. And as long as I remember the one thing that's funny, and that's to check on, is the password. Anyway, gosh, I'm done. And thanks for watching. If you watched any of it, and big project, really. It's a little router, but a big project. Lots to learn. I've read about this firmware on and off for years, 5+ years, I think, and maybe not quite that long. I know the last time I downloaded the firmware was 2011 because I've got the dates on the files, and they're not the ones I use. They had quit developing it for that router, and now they all of a sudden this time when I went and thought I better check whether or not they might have, you know, updated it, and they did. There's 27 versions up there now, so 2017 versions. And I need to check into the other ones and see for sure which one I actually want to use. But then, and I think maybe the wireless repeater is the way I'm going to want it, because that makes a whole nother subnet in the living room that has to be dealt with. And I mean, there's some advantages because, like, if the TP-Link wireless is not working, and like I was saying before, and if it's going on the wire into the living room and just the normal IP address that you know, you get on the Linksys in there, then that actually will go around it, you know, and still connect. That's what would be good about that. But if it's repeating it, and if something goes wrong with it in here, then, you know, it's all down. The whole thing's down. But on the other hand, if it's repeating it and it keeps it from going down, that would be wonderful and simpler. You know, everybody doesn't have to keep trying different routers to get online, which is a pain. So we'll think about all that and experiment, I guess, and figure out what to do. Like I said, really I won't know for sure until I actually get DD-WRT on the TP-Link. Now that I've done it on this one and I didn't brick it or anything, I'm not so scared to do it on the TP-Link. And this one, I'll figure out the firmware that I want to stick with, and then I will use it as my main router while I'm in the actual process of, you know, putting the firmware on the TP-Link. So, because I got to have a router to, you know, got to be online, period. Everybody has to be online even when I'm fiddling with stuff. And plus I needed to be online while I was doing this before, so, to this one. So, it's done, and I'm going to go now, finally. All right. Bye-bye.